All right, assalamu alaikum badingol. Munube LSTV1 Jubekang. Ntelong Ib Senghor, Ntele Bale Jambi. Um, Fenko the LSTV1 studio to Luntanjam. Now we have two special gentlemen here, Omar Sanneh and Muhammed Ba of Birkama North constituency. You know, NPP call Fenko Lady. Mobility because nke following even during the presidential elections every time one of the groups what's on Brikama anytime nga Omar J have a post like for NPP so it only not a jambi kela frustrational air out they have a message to the people and I think it's important, when we have people like this, let's give them a platform so that they can make them put their message out there, promote ya Lumumbe caring. So Mohammed Ba and Omar Sane, itol lotale nung pour NPP la Brikama North constituency, pour ye député bungoto. But kabri lota fanang kujama ketaje muyatinda fanang imenne select so mbe bari mbe to le fon bulala story ni explain but before then mba that la Omar Sane tell us a little bit about yourself ila background how did you get into politics then we'll also go to Muhammad Ba to do the same thing
abarga bake ibsengaru ndeto Umar Fanding Sanelji from Birkama Kabafita, originally from Birkama Sanakunda ba. Mga poljugo start Karimbe Junior School, Jamabaka School mi Alpha Kan Birkama Upper Basic School. Mi yang ko lora nung council ya carte fola aning assistant head boy ya carte fola ala na tan harje nim place fulol biela ya 2017 ntarda poljugo kono wadole na senior school falang kada class prefect throughout kabin dara college o mana involve poljugo kon ba on kada campaign manager ti one of the aspirant min kada ya kamara ti wo wato atana do gambe college student union na place oro min kada vice president ya tin kada campaign manager ala na da harje o place o ko la narta university mi anko serum ndafon lodo carte college ala na range place harje place la min kada assistant logistic minister ñinam falang on the school of education jama ba ka fa edusa education students association ñinam falang nada local reform ala na dan dima na sa current dindolo the minister of logistics at the university of the Gambia national side of politics italian political kundalti nde ulu fam politician oli akuduma fulol bem politician oli so o fanna falana ngam politiko karang wol falam bolu ani ninke nake ba tere wa jama falan bije mi yalon ko ikalo man so na place ñu la carte fait place la falang nga jama ba kare bulu min ngada di led wajuara almani man ngi far kalaye honorable sidia jata ñolu honorable buway ñolu honorable magashi ñolu and others is
All right, baraka baki Mr. Sane, kumunyata baki. So ngadung Muhammad Ba, tell us a little bit about ila background in politics. Ila educational background, ila also idunta political kununya dile for being at the diversity.
Abaraka baki, thank you so very much, Senghor. Ndolulu dulamu bikamati, of course, bikama welingara when it comes to our birth. Wuluta je ngana dindi ya be ke wolto nkuluta je na primary school ngake Brikama Kabafita of course Kabafita nursery then you go to Kabafita primary then to Kabafita upper basic school we run down to Bottrop Kindred of Bottrop senior secondary school from there to the Gambia College. My politics proper started from the Gambia College, into political, that is institutional politics. That is at the institutional level, or on the Gambia College. At the Gambia College, I stood for the information ministry with one Yusfa Dabo, of course. Yusfa Dabo, the famous Yusfa Dabo. Now he's presenting at DHK. Yusfa won that election because he was a radio presenter at the time. I will win a landslide. From there, we run down to the University of the Gambia, where we are graduated now. But before University of the Gambia, I served at the Gambia College as the vice president of all the agri students in the Gambia College at the time. Then fast forward to the university, on the School of Social Sciences and Humanities Students Association, I was their deputy research minister. Coming to national politics, national level, the Global Youth Parliament for West Coast region became not until the parliamentary. Walamko funding kel mimbe become not ila parliamentary at the global youth level until they represent at an international level. That is to say, to represent the voices of Brikamanot constituency. Global Youth Parliament is a global youth stuff where every time you can annual conference at Nepal. In fact, last time, that is the pre-national election in this country, we have our conference at Nepal. We have up to 10 delegates from this country. That is the Gambia. So at a national politics, I subscribe to NPP, that is the National People's Party. Nka wala agenda le push ka promote bake. Mie nyinsa wolom control njikita ko lata ko NPP is the only political party at our time saying Mialonko, it can move the interests of average Gambians in this country. That is how we got to involve in the National People's Party, and here we are.
Okay, so Abaraka Bake, Mr. Sanneh and Mr. Ba. Akamuta ko atol almondum politiko kono wonya madrong, you guys prepared yourself well, even at the school level, going all the way to the university level, Alianfan prepare back, to get to where you guys are today. So Almanke mo furin to o momu yalonko I'll see that I'll famous that Albertunga da dum political kono, just rolling with the tides. So it's very impressive. I love background on you, is very impressive and I like it. So sign, nga donda ko non kanadum parliamentary election wala kono sign thing. And before nomination or munkeda last week, before they all happened, nga jele ko party soul on the ground in the background, yela primary selection process. When they did their primary selections, they also came up with their candidates. So with the candidates that they brought forward, the all candidates on December last week, December to the nomination process. So you two guys that wanted to run for the NPP parliamentary seat for Brikama North, and but Allah Patiman will select, and you guys do not like how the process went. You felt like the process was rigged some kind of way, and ngajele, on the standard newspaper, you guys wrote a petition out there, and I just want it to come both from the horse's mouth. So let's start with Omar Fanding Sanneh. Tell us what happened. Muneketa for be I told more flol, more killing out of you guys. Why did you guys not become successful to become Allah parliamentary nominees for Brikama North? Just tell us the background of what happened.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin ja sengor komi ya kuma ko standard newspaper bala nyaming ataroda wala nyam wala nyindi dibria carte fo min nyana ke nyinang next month on the 9th. Position on is vacant. Dibite mi mesirim place on so ala wato bantale so place on aya sendile. So ni place on seta banku dungol luaya atende ko momo siyo sende mo anin clean si anila karon grade 12 bang isa anyini nole. Wolen tel dung kanyin place nyini. Plus ajala insa Brikama bondi insa na banko bondi. Kabirin yin plaso nga moy ka vacancy bi dile falan na da sebe Brikama North constituency ntele mo woro wulale nyim place o 7 ke woro musu killing inara kana interview la nyango ngake ser konde ni village la skill center kaben data o interview la je lum folo benda February on the 20th dimanche lo ndara kada je interview la inara mbe ni ngaje killing kabiri nyinin garo bendela karola yan nyinin ka ntodu panelo nyinin ka nto ngani nit tandi ko ndeto Omar Sanelti bada home level ikonkol Omar Fanding Sanel nyinin karla nara nyinin ka ko fo Sanneh mandinko fo Sanneh jola ngo wo kuma ko dundanna.
Why would they ask you that, ila tribal affiliation? Munati
Nda kontongo mo
andu jamale fongo yenyini ka wala. Isa tofu no bang fo ita tofu la.
nsa tofu no le.
Go ahead, transparency. Yes.
Yeah. Panelist mi yenyini ka wala Oma chairman Lamin Jadalti atolong regional chairman West Coast.
Okay.
Akonye Sanneh mandinko fo Sanneh jola. Mfulankaye ntama belet. Delilo mi aten kon dama beti wala nyindi kon wulu ba ma suruwalti mfama mandinkoti mama muso wulu ba abama fuloti wulu fa abama jolati ndefo wala muso ma fuloti so ni ndani ni ga gambele ta mun silati o dalilo kam ndala jabiro mo nyinati ntama belet nyinin karo falantara kajinin kanna karon fannala ngo jabi golon ndaltara la kabirin school college for university anin ka dogo minge wala karandrot ndama tijalti aba dona tidin ko la fala mejo dol fala mem bulla fala ngam falanke inara nyini nga ina fon ning ayatara ninta ala man harje nyim place na modo di ma fomme bulala mari no mala anga nyin jabiro di wala nyin ko ni ale momo harje a place la mbe bulala no male bar njigata ko ala ben defon la tombon ando ngame to wallahi do ngo fan tamani inara nyinin karo mun sanjola o flanke da anoda jutune ya nyinin karo ti miya ko milibe dibide ya nyini moti keri ikono yamin nyinin ka sanjola barin de kundungo yenda nyinin ka sanjola
Okay.
Na tan konte I am 31 years old. Kabe ngata ne kon I am 31 years old ngata ne ko nyimbango luak ni da from page 90 to 103 momo ya akarang abi section of jamiango ayatandi ko momo shiyo sanyi tani saisi inyandaga voras kaje ni ka register ni sanyi morning kilimo si isa lono carte fay place wol nole so anin inyandaga karang adora nyanya ga 12 karo nyanda ka bulle wala wot karola alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ala ende tamindi wala ngobi sotole so inara nyara nyinin karo inara nyinin ga ko kan do fana wala nyin iko ya moy ko nyim place o ndaf wulu fa ya nyinile ndaf la nyim place o nyini an ko ya alhamdulillah ma kala ko wulu fa ya nyinile kar o be birkama sawde ndaba birkama north o ba ala cordado ndaf la benna cordado mandra dingra ken dombe sati kilin minara nyin tandi ko alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ñu wulu fa ya nyini ma moy de bar mi ya fa ngamoy wala bar o ma ala tentu balit kado waya tandi ko ala banque di ya nyanto aya fongale amantara kede luwa bugudu ko min zafa ko ne dunga ni fama ni kany wala ni faya ni lumu mani na kany so ni wulu faya ni wala jada kany ko mi momo bi jang nyami ila banko di ya nyanto ni la okay mam luwa min fa ni sa ni no ya ni wota mon kasi jawor kan ni dara banko ka min gara United States of America ti 1988 George W Bush in George H Bush ibene na contestale ngay tandi ko George H Bush loda president yalla ana windele George W Bush loda Angola governor ya and wo songo ibe windel so wo is normal ni mbodoro nenen nga fomo fulan filnu wo fomo e caractère tandi fani ne criminal conviction dole aning ito educational background and whether you are close to bankruptcy or whether you have any criminal record or police record ndi alhamdulillah rabbil alamin ngala tantu ala entanga wol belal so fomo me fomo bala qualified o bela kado fen criminal record nana mo soto nana man court case soto so ko kuma student wo kan ni fale wo interview ke wolum falang kansulo modu sise ay ni ganyen na fo wala ta panel o kono because first day of interview atanada ji kabiri mbiro yaje ko ani mbiro mimbe nyola nyowarin keno kono wolta ma fewati aw wakilita ata bakawta ako ata yam fata place o nyel atudan delje mo woro so anara nyin ngani ni garan sai mani ara ndafa ma winda lota ndafa la lot ni mbi tombo fo ale en hali mbi fo nda place o kala sana kundata ko ya hanigo mo mi ye carte fe dibide yama carte fe mi yalon ko ikolo molle je mol mi yele the voice of the people ikolo represent so wo nga korra ko do le kabilo ko wa wo mo banko bela cold wolu nyini inara mo be ni ngaje kilim dara fam frati lo luñ sabanjang February 22nd wolu inara mo saba jolong ndelu wo mo woro min tutaje ya mo sabol min jolong ni Muhammed ba ni mi mesiri nyodala ya ata mo ko mi ko ya disqualify ile lamin bojam falang disqualify ani bakar jiba yu falang disqualify ha ko ol bang ama fa den yo ato jen ndali mo saba min geda fatu bojang William Mendy and myself Omar Sanneh ikon bidala primary la bar wado wadi kan nyim fala ko min ndamal ka si badim bunga diam pour nga place o bula nyoy bar momon so do min babula la nyoy kabin dara primary mo 23 wala mo wani saba wala carte fay kabiri ya carte fay fatu bojang nada win ala kada ala kerot mo 17 mo tani warawla wala carte fay nde mo worole carte fay nde William Mendy at moment carte fayate ni dara percentage manungul kami kemo kono that means 74% wala carte fay fatu bojeje 26% wala carte fay nte 0% wala carte fay William Mendy
okay
wolung nda mal jam dam kafo kono nada alquran o court mingira surah ashura atala alquran surah 2060 quran o kono moni woro ala ayo mingira ala 83 ning 84 ngo qur'an be mobe danila danin kata ala fadu boja hariye nyim plaso la mbe sabula anoma komi nga min agreement o min san ko ale mo win me bulala no male anon de kundu me campagne o kala yale mo benta no ma sabulano kadum me na carte fela na modol bi ike man da carte fela nara mo carte ne open liko mo ya ko niya te ka bulan dala no ma ndibe faru bojan support la so mo be nyen daga be faru bojan support ando nga fal open li nara ngoy ko alquran ko rabbi habli hikman wajni bi shalihim waj'alna lisana sakin fi alkarim wo kuma kan kamala ta tukata be bulala musundu no kawembo je nada janjam so ni ga executive meeting so all the aspirant dalmin be place nyen ikan kuma ni lambe ta meeting dula nada ta de lungolo pour kata fadu boy na kuru dan wala sa je rumol do anim kabilo do because Birkawa North constituency ate sa de rumol so do anim kabilo nada ta kata o kabilo kuru kam do ni Muhammed ba kuru fomba maringa tala bulu mbele nada da bar kanjidol miliye plazo nyin safe ndani Muhammed ba dama tella tara kata kuru dan wala aning councilor Morisi miyango ate resign ate yam fata plazo le janning during fango interview la nada da kuru dan non ke fatili saba ha kabim o tili saba banda tili kili abanda jumalongale den dimanche lungo anin sibido manki barmo mbe suwo kono tene lungo somanda juno 7 am nga call soto from Birkawa North constituency secretary general mingeda Mohammed Cham anadon ko la ko Umar Fanding kaya nam akonye ko yes Sofia Jumala use pour ko faru boje na flyer dada kaya ko faru boje na flyer ndama dada anti ajibali flyer nyin seninye kaya nada publish because on Facebook 3 pages bije ndal dam personal revolution together as one ani workshop Birkama war workshop Birkama flelbe Facebook klindo mental tat ika men feka post de dam ndal dam wot nga ke da purka barola man sakunda sementu yaji pour sa mo se present baro sobot nada fa ko mantamo page adibaya da nada publish nada kena status and profile picture so that molisa musinno pro as a support so because on that page 45,000 people followers ngola so je okola nada fa ko bar fadu bojambe drop la no nyaadi le kado mulyango voting ne keda pro akonye well there are some technicalities so mia where you go fadu boje do ko ke IEC le so nada drop le ye la im boje nata anga hande wote kelen doko kala mbo man ko la primarily akonya hani well for your information ta fo le ko ya ye nyineta kabir ngo nada fadu bojam ko ngani ninka aya confirm bara kumo ni yara fang itale fadu bojam fon drop le afoma kalamta kadi dimension ngo ye shooter midon ke ser kunanding the funniest thing kamidon min be ser kunanding ka ke skill centale anu konto na man tabin taliye balumi ne be ro se
mbalal de me kuntude so it ko de ye that father boy then ya drop le without ka fire ko ka kalamutande ko ya drop le
wala keda ye fadu bojam drop le ma kabir lumi ne be ser kunanding midon wala on their way going back home that was 10 around 10 sudo kada 11 gang odole pass the fat boje ya home ka kumo fire ka tanda ko ya drop le because ikai do ko IEC le but coming to not a fine out fat bojang I do go mingi IEC wolong I stand by do ko kije ikabole ASRO ning ASRO wala multimedia lango italla ka voter registration ka molla natal volta ani ka molla detail volta but among active do go ngon but I agale stand by coming in case ni manko keda is kada kaso dundu wall mol nodo so automatic
did she ever serve or maybe an killer replacement the contractor but did she even serve I paperwork done the sign but it cover I do ko nyim phone kele for IEC farmak
well all we know ko ntava I do ko keje but amange taman permanent staff of IEC woma contractlet it's a period I don't know whether for 40 days adaka ke old so that mean nada todung chairman sadawda call atala become north constituency chairman of ma so no nada chairman lamin jada call because atala the overall chairman the chairman West Coast NPP ngai Mr. Chairman fenkil nen jagali bolo ngai deputy asever minge fat bojang ikoya drop le but ni fat bojang drop intelligent daga select nyare nyanda kan tele ta automatic because primary ndeni fat bojang ne vote choro ning kani do drop tale ngai de honest kani do mi anga disqualified alfo ya disqualified alka amama fa because during interview mi anga mo do drop le so otra mo mi anga yifo ya disqualified so ngai amo ngali ya disqualified alna ko dang aliya tombo ndeta primary William jada primary la ndelemon tombo anu man kibar falan so jin ko anu midungo mitin nim gake mobile ka kalamda bar ni silo alda may midun kare anu wo midungo ni some of the executive members yolo call milka milmandra fadu bojon support kan yolo call milka fadu bojon support e mobile kumani kada midungo so yeah.
So I left off a process on even leading on to the primary election in Fanang. You know, cool leketa jemuni alonko among fair because explain to us NPP la primary election process kakenya dile with anyanta kila nyadile, you know, based on Allah fenkol Allah party la bylaws all and at nyin primary nyin keta nyadile. So how it should be and how it works.
Okay. Yeah, MPP policy anyente ni komi nimo le place ni da mal ma bula nyoy e nyanda kada primary land. So me majority of the vote soto wala ka tambi. Fadu bojang na silo atara nim primary la wala tin talibi bula da noma. Kado molman sonka bula nyoy da primary la. But lamin bojang yamin disqualify at the initial stage. Ama andam alama harji ka qualify primary fongola. Inada tombon without the consent of the aspirant one without the consent of some executive members would do for kalamta. So you go there illegality bijere and if on nepotism nim favorism bije. Allegation dole for the jenning nim primary school fonga si me an ko ngi moy ko bribe sol kedale bribe kedale but wo coming nta o mo hiya shele di nga moy it's just a room nta said yal no wo kumo kan kadon ninga ko mo fo niya kete loi kodi fo nga sedo bonde bari wo mbe ko mobe lo rumo mo yisate kono.
Okay, so okay, go ahead.
So ni wobor je nin chairman la min jara conversation o ngani komi nga fanya ko ni primary ndel qualified ba te nin tane ko committee molu candidate fula wol ko candidate fula be bul wolon lamin bojang anim fatu bojang ba itale min so just ba fatu bojang disqualified ale ibodi ya do ma sanano do min gada ajeti dole wala suggest but dole man na so wala go wo fale do ko ke IEC le inada lamin bojang tombong alkala inada to ki prasa atata mol represent dibide wo kede dimajo sudil mondel entelinga kalamta nga baro wota possible no anara fako ila secretary general min gada Muhammed chamti anim bulli ako Muhammed chanko atala dinno lentati so ala bolen tati so not dinno ala bolen tati na abadiam lentele mba understand thinking that they can hold me ransom like a puppet mome mani go mi va bul kono mo ndal manke woti ngai go ani ndam mo me cham tan da kolono ka fa nyum nyanda ka dani silo la andi mba me so la nga sefro ka kola pour nyin sa dang ako ay yamar nyin na wolo nyin ko nyin nimba ta la insata njalo ko ndal dama mbadi mal ko lamin boya min falan tombong anim faru boya ndal bi mbadi kilongol insata ni mbadi ya kola nara in tanala ko okay no problem bar nyin ko anyenda kata ko because nyim place nyenda ka signal because nalmanda to mon direct or another primary nyenda ka call no matter how emergency it is the primary ko nyenda ka kuma ni William team because then mo fulol qualified wala yenna place tika ya dinna direct go since at the initial stage nyinga e ko nyi to them I am small woye batande back
Okay. All right. Mbena murun na jele but nga chance di Muhammad fanan yala story explain in his own words isajum fanan nga faham munketa de fanan na je Muhammad.
Abaraka bake Senghor, thank you very much. Comme Omar ya funyami. Ntol Kabrimbota University was very recent. Of course, Ntol mudiningol timi yalang ko wuluta Brikama, na Kolbeke Brikama, we live in Brikama. And dimingol mimbe Brikama, nanyol kabatal minke marsito Brikama, na broda solte hatsipol miltaki Brikama, we live it together. My father used, of course, a very poor person in Brikama. Akoleko, if you go to an extent, Hadamadingol, they will own half of you. The other half, you own it to yourself. That is to say, all right. Ola nyindiko, ola nyindiko, ni tada fo Hadamadingol sulatila. Sonko, one of your part, itolle sulatila. Itolle tam woti. Wondongo ital tam. So, because ngalahi do tale ko, since we are actively involved in politics, that is to lead the people of Brikama North, especially the youths. Nga jele ko ni mol fonse bondi. Brikama sulata bondi rola. Nga dete mintole. Olam the Global Youth Parliament. This is a global stuff. All the youths in West Coast, they are answerable to us, and I was their representative. We brought a lot of projects. Project Jamal Lenari Brikama North, under the leadership of Kemo Fati. Of course, in project called Jumale ke sponsor along our chairman Sirifo Sonko. Sirifo Sonko is hearing me. Most of our projects are the sponsor. Project ko for me kumada jenga minke Brikama North. Irregular migrations. Irregular migrations. The Global Youth Parliament on irregular migration. Hence, I need a YouTube. You will realize or find out nga minke je. So ntol ngaji ko doku manyana dan nateng. Since eco youth representation, if you look at this country, 60% of this country are youths. So if people are advocating youths need to be promoted and youths need to represent, because Jama Bije, Milbabanko Kanjang, youth solemn. So we feel necessary, we deem it fit to take those leadership positions to represent our fellow youths who have voiceless in this country. Wala tinanto na application okay. Na application okay come Omar Yafo Nyami, of course, he made a mistake there. That is to say, we were ninth. In fact, the Secretary General of the NPP West Coast, he himself applied. Coming application okay, the belief and the conviction that means the Wollam Co application on iba scrutinize da ye tumbondiro ke anyama because deputy o manke chahan kuti fo ni watra gambianol ya je ko o ya tako deputy mu malam I don't know gambianol ka deputy je nyame but deputy ndenga je ko nengol comme all 60,000 or 20,000 people in your constituency inengo abetele bulokono you are the mouthpiece, you are representing them. For example, no other become or not more than ne bigi wonengol betele bulokono itele kara fo mansa kunda ko ni ndala ni mo tangol isula da nyinni nyinnal so ndenga feel ko ni other you are not competent enough, rational enough, you don't have the proper background of education, you cannot represent the people of Brikama. And we believe we have let me try my chance to see whether I can represent my people. Because we see the need of a proper representation in Brikama, especially Brikama. An application will drop with all our CVs. We attach all our documents, thinking these people will go through our documents and make an informed choice. But that was in the reverse. Before primaries, Yemol commanding at Sarakunanding, Komaya Fonyamin, I'll tell more 7 non-sign. Secretary General have withdraw, Wala Muhammed Chanti. So saying Alaji Alba Plazo Nikalanyami. An instant, the former councillor of APRC, who of course applied, Wafana withdraw. Now we are 6. Itata yes scrutiny you have to come back the next day. We came back the next day, they make another scrutiny. This scrutiny was in the presence of the chairman Lamin Jata himself. To my surprise, all those scrutiny, our documents, our credentials was never presented. You know, this is modern interview, 21st century interview. The first thing that you should go through is CV. CV, that's your curriculum vitae, or you know how far you have gone, your educational background. Unfortunately, this was packed aside. You know, there I was hopeless since they were not interested in education because they said it. Chamano ko nyimman ke karankuti. Kai chairman no other nyimman ke karankuti. Afo President Adam Barrow ko Karambungol primary school, upper basic, senior school, Gambia College, University aya besorong. Because you cannot tell us in recent generation ko karamang kumaya in activities, especially politics. This I deny it. Education is very much important, especially in our national politics. You cannot say this is an ancient or traditional belief of politicking. First of all, we have to set the record clear. Let us remove that in our perception. In our national politics. That is a very wrong notion. So ntada eko criteria la the NPP mi yalonko ni ma criteria meet, you will be dropped. That is the final stage. They drop Honorable Jiba, Lamin Bojang.
Mr. Ba.
Yes.
May today, Yalon J is very important because Yakumo for the Iko eloko nyimanki karankuti. At the same time, iko criteria lebije anyanta mumidla NPP criteria. So until after Mulanda, for that criteria, what is the criteria? If you guys could tell me just 2 or 3 of those alio criteria for anu ya for your criteria ya normal bang for ma normal anu itolier for la function criteria le natina.
Yeah, the criteria they gave us the form. Janintolwe form summit. I read the form. The criteria were very, very simple. One of the criteria was on fighting banku dingolti killing fulanyango ikaminginenka for have you been resident of the constituency that you want to represent for the past 5 years? Fula sabanyango minti, are you a member of the National People's Party? Have you in any way served the National People's Party? These are the criteria. And I believe criminal record will be bigger. Until me personally, I met all those criteria because I am an active member of the student wing at the National People's Party. Student wing NPP into law form. So ka NPP la agenda phase and NPP la agenda phase are 3 marks. So those were the criteria. But then educational level, they were never interested in that. So this is my worry. We are not fighting the National People's Party. We fighting the system, especially the Commonwealth system. The system in which they used to select their representative was a very, very wrong system. Let me continue before I come to that. So, Tata Yentol Mo Sabol drop, Olante Fangoti, Lamin Bojang, and Jiba. So, Itolko, according to the criteria of NPP, which, they can hide, you will hide Mulunkele, Omar Sanneh, Fat Bojang, and one William will qualify. Itata Karte fired. Of course, the length Omar Sanneh again. Omar Sanneh happened to got 6 votes. Fat Bojang got 17 votes, and one William, double master's degree holder from London. This William is a double master's degree holder from London, got 0 vote. So votes all ketanyami come the committee, the select committee of NPP, member Brikama, they are 23 in number. Well, ka karte fight. Katandi control sulata nyinna. So nin jamae karte fight wo mole betambila. Jama nata karte fight Fat Bojang. Ndol solta wala because at that instant womu alala kirwaldi. They voted for Fat Bojang. Of course, we have to follow. This is our political party. We endorse, congratulate, and support Fat Bojang. Fat Bojang na communication obey abe marlen to level kama ya fanya mintela ka kuruonyi mutaka city ka tala from Bonsa, coming down to Brikama, all the Brikama Jamisa, down to Bojang Kunda, up to Bafuloto, Makumbaya. We went length and breadth of the Brikama constituency to present this of our candidate, that is Fat Bojang. Or Katandila Kon, Tongani Mole Select NPP ticket. Dukare Alim Makoi. Vote for him, of course, appreciate her. Sorry. So 2 days after that, we had a rumor called Fat Bojang herself, was disqualified. The surprising thing, Walamko, in information of within the NPP bureau, we thought Hanifat Bojang nabe jindira anyanta bula bantale Fat Bojang among qualified, but within us, kafu mole Fat Bojang fanga doko ke IEC so among qualified. Fat Bojang see the need katafo IEC fangodo ke nyininka fotonya. If I am a staff of IEC, am I not qualified to run? The IEC confirmed to her that yes, you are not qualified to run for National Assembly elections. Fat Bojang wholeheartedly withdrew herself. I have found withdraw because Aman Lafi, NPP will seat or lose in Brikama. And I respect this woman. She withdrew.
But Mr. Omar just said earlier that Fat Bojang was withdrawn without her knowledge, and you're saying that she withdrew by herself.
Yeah, without her knowledge. There was an information. Dropped. There was an information. Fat Bojang had this well before at a form of bita. I don't need more from a letter for IEC. So,
sorry, to cut him short, Fat Bojang, ya drop on Sunday. On Monday, Ndelanga Karako find out. Then tell me that IEC Karako you find out. I qualified it.
Okay.
So saying Gabriel I withdraw in a democratic process. In a democratic process, since data primaries lala, iko X, Y, and Z man qualified. So X, Y, and Z nindo wole qualified. In a democratic process, woto ni most sabo min rontanum ye carte fa ni mo fulo le tema nindo masato automatically second pasino le nyanta replace la ni watara tonya bigi. For example, Fat Bojang was voted 17 vote. So Fat Bojang man qualified. Omar got 6 votes. Automatically, Omar le nyanda penkela. Omar le nyanda bulala Fat Bojang noto. But imo okay, yemine ke kata Lamin Bojang, who is of course my brother, we stay in the same kabilo. Itata wo pick now. This is a hand pick because now we present this guy as our MP. So for us, that was so hurting and disrespectful to the core. Ngaje ko wondo mo alala kerodi, bar nyindo mo hadama ding formula kerodi. De sonnala. Lamin Bojang, according to them, was not qualified, in fact, to stand for NPP. So new Lamin Bojang man qualified, Fat Bojang IECO disqualified. They are respecting the act of IEC, but they are not respecting the act of NPP. So this was an insult, and we have to raise the alert. We are raising the alert for those coming, because this is not the only election that we are coming ahead. Because committee mall, they have this traditional belief ko candidate or present already. So tomal will formalist because you have a application is just formalities, but we have our candidature ready. Na candidate on don't parendil. Ninku on lafta wole baila. Alkana mol batandi ko nyimu formalities kuti. If you open an issue, Albeya apply. Dukare let them go through credentials and select the most capable and the most qualified candidate to represent the people of Brikama. But Altemo Tumbona already and open the floor. Apply. This issue of formality needs to stop. It needs to stop not only in Brikama, but it needs to stop in the entire country.
Okay, so let me ask you, and either of you guys can answer this question. So, Altorco, because Fatu Bojan dropped her, and then because Mr. Sanneh was the second in line, after the second position in a primary election process on Yinto. So is this an assumption because Mr. Sanneh came second, Nim Fatu Bojan dropped her, Mr. Sanneh and Yanta automatically to become the candidate, or is that an assumption, or according to Altola NPP la Fenkoro, alla loi buko mumbije process o mun nyadi de naketa ko candidate or front runner candidate o nyin dropped e nyanta dira the second person nel la bang or anyanta Fenko nyin kela primary election kela all over again. So nafta lo faham la before, because man la fi mole si ka ko okay Omar la nyanta kela candidate because a Fat Bojan drop, but alla loi buko e muna fu ko anyanta
very good. Very good. Yalom, NPP is a newly established party, almost to 4 or 5 years. Lua Bukol, this is a lacuna, a mantraji. Lua, some of them they used to have lacuna, Wolomko, they skip. But automatically, common sense, Ninteni tata karte fayola, or Nimo tang tata karte fayola, first one got elected. Automatically the second person will become the most competent candidate to run. Nilma woke min drop tanu initial stage itata wole tombonna one Lamin Bojang ka present.
New film Muhammed lok mo sahyata new film boteji ngamilon dawoda ning carte faida example bangol miango ekata true percentage not single majority. Ni carte faida candidate flow milla percentage chutular milla percentage ni nol based on wala ka tambi kada second voting na. So dawoda ne president da mi vice president ka taraji ni CEO man da mi assistant CEO ka taraji. So dawoda abo nyam ni chairman man daming assistant chairman le ka replace so mobe wolong so ni place o man dinna direct wora sa intel mo flo min qualified primary la wora inen carte primary do nyen daga fay intel mo flo tema bara manye naga nyinji kam moti mi yalan ko ya drop ya disqualify la faga pare inara ko den ya select kadi ya ni min disqualify ya ni min disqualify karon fanala wala fanan ba ko sandon MPP policy ya karon kuma yandi bakale bar nyilla ma wo jibe Muhammed continue.
Good. So kabin nato beke ndol ngatandi fenke ko, that is Kairaba, who is our constituency chairman, yeminke aninsilamanta, because we want to make them believe ko ndol mang habu position odo ndol ninna kaiti senangolom hani watra nyinten do biget, unless and until we did not believe in our education, we will be bootlickers. We are not going to be bootlickers. They call a meeting at our NPP bureau. We told him in his face, you and your executive so he felt insulted. I mean, he said we are rude and stuff like that. I said, we are not rude. You guys are failing Barrow. You guys are failing Barrow. If Barrow, anala committee mol, ikoleko, the selection of an MP na bula constituency level. Wolonko, the committee of any constituency will be held responsible to select and present their MP. Woto NPP bra for us have no interfere in this, because the NPP bra on top believe ko at the constituency level it will lay more long. You understand? Then they came to do these things, which we believe an Islamanta B, an Islamanta Sama, and they were not ready in any way to change this. And they added a word, Dula Diatale Al Sitanyo, meaning they are firmly in their position. Because they are not going to change anything, and they have not regretted doing any, choosing Lamin Bojan and whatnot. They are not apologetic. I mean, you can go to anywhere you feel like. So, I mean, for us, we felt upset. We felt like this is unlawful and it's very, very biased.
So, okay. So, Mr. Ba, you guys said a few things here in the government process. First off, kabring Omar tata purika nyininka ya nyininka, ikontola, for emusane jolal dibam for emusane manding kolti. Which is a red flag right there. And ite yokumo foje ko gal ko ale ko nyimmanke karankudi, which means it all, they just wanted anyone, to represent the thousands of people. Momuyal ko hana keda ko imubuki na ko woltifang, it all daltije. Dawda the candidate also. The third thing ale move for now. Wala atul ko yela candidates to the operator, so they're just going through this normal process formality. Ite ali wala for. So silang left off for hamla altol Gabriel ya understand ko nying mol they just wanted to go through a formal process, but they've already have a candidate in mind. Why would you guys, want to go through that process and not raise the flag during that time, but waited until now to come speak about it?
To start with, in my political stuff, I don't want to mention tribes, because until interview and my political kumul muka lafika tribe for you, honestly, because tribe is very, very, very sensitive.
Right.
A sensitive tabagele, and tribal sentiment and tribal stuff. I don't just want to go near to that. Omar Minfo, I sat in that interview panel. This interview panel was, rounded with a lot of women, of course, and the West Coast chairman. When I presented myself, I was the last person to go. I think second to last or last person. Can we see that? Akonye Todung, Guy Muhammed Ba Fulo from Welingara. Kaiha Ba Fulo. it brings down my spirit, Buffalo. You are complimenting my soul name to my tribe. For me, that shouldn't be. It was wrong.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to point out there.
No, for them, for me in Tengamin Karanje, for them, a Flaman like me cannot represent the people of Brikama North. I don't want to go there more. But to answer your question, Ndol maybe sign the media about Kandila, but like in the inner cycle of NPP, we fought about this. And we know the consequences. We told them that, we are not in line with the process. Ale process of minta is wrong. Irrespective of our commitment to the NPP, is wrong. We have to sit and watch. Then my dad took me to school up to the university level to bring change. Of course, the change can be brought through the channel in which I worked. The traditional politics within the NPP had become or not. With all the education that we gathered from the university, then it was not even necessary at our school. So this is the issue. This is at hand. We wrote a petition. Of course, he submitted it to the Standard newspaper. Standard newspaper very published. Then Office of the President, even at the Office of the President, the Governor's Office, it was a carbon copy, CC to all these institutions. Then Molia realized, this is what is happening. The selection process, Amanta Anyama B, Amanta Anyama Sama, and we still, we still stand by that. The selection process was very, 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 very unfair.
Okay, so still on the petition, okay, to the Standard newspaper, and I understand yesterday you guys interviewed at Jana Todung Africa TV. I think I watched a segment of it, but also now has there been any traction? So that Lamin Bojang Yemunat pushed forward as the candidate, is that candidate now confirmed by the IEC last week?
Yes, it's been confirmed by the IEC.
Okay.
But prior before that, me petition of Onko Sabu. When the cabinet chairman sada do call, ngak mo fay ko nyin na bekering, kada na ko to mandro ke nyaming ninga da mi wala mbele ka mo bele ka ma be bar nyi sulo ale studa mi don ke moma kalamda ale fadu bojan jolong ale laim bojan da fadu bojan ma kalamda. That was on Monday. Wolu no the phone fadu bojan ni modul fon kada IEC kada verification wala kada UFO tonya act ni ya jolong wala section 90F wala fadu bojan jolong. Kabisan chama no na nyi fa akonye Umar yala min fole nyim place manga keta place akonyim place manga keta place ti andung nda kuno la je falang nga bara nyinda kada ni sulula anu komi cool be kada wala nyam akonye yala min fole ibe do yari baba kele ete do ya baba batala nga misa chairman o jakolo warta bakelde nga nyim place manga keta place ne ma keta place ni mo dañu sabal abakelen talti melilo miati na ko nyim place manga keta place lo mfama ko to ma bakle fakle honorable buba aisani anene député yake west jele combat central o wato bitu lo lanta falang ka place o nyini mo an wodun tagre sanje tan commando o kede telfi keta ko wala tin na ko nyim place manga keta ko anyin tan ni falang kon deba dawo do yari baba kele pour que ñu ko challenge ako ka ñu ko boda tople ako itel biro ko lo mofule be bul wala fadu bojang lamine bojang ndel la kado na ngani non la kado taraji ako but this is just formality Muhammed ya min fo wala biji ako mol mi yango ya kabni ya ndaf ngoy vote so ako min gede William la tan wolbe kelen dela 0 vote nga no wala kelen dela ndel darajo tambi baba da pour que 0 vote so ako because Moliango Imandra Fadu Boyan Sobor, Milka Lamin Boyan Sobor, Kari Lamin Boyan qualify primary, Wolle Carte Finte. Another thing, a form of Mola Mille Carte for Yanka, no, but killing Gilon Mille Carte Fai. wala instant ye emergency meeting call wo verde Muhammed call fo Muhammed na tan ko ko nyin tilu mandara koma to nya mandara koma anu nimmi fengo fenne nyanda ka karon police karon duni jele ko MPP police ya fo nyami baratal bugo toma ata chairman sa dawda a walda kam fada ako mota diamole je kadon delma dinole kadal ko decision o challenge anu mota ku nole je kada ayim fanya ko daw nala call conversation o akonya dawoda diate yeta je wala den ko sa ngata ne ko be petition o sefela to the office of the president from bango man se kesa kalmino ko ay mol min to mo ata jigida minilla ko wolinten jigida moti ñil mol di mi yango ka tinna mol ka president against wala ka bulala and atra president man ko nyam because Boro is a very nice person ni momo ya long nada kana petition o sefe to the office of the president national bureau to the administrative secretary nada diala regional chairman Lamin Jada nga diala secretary kado ma mo mataraje ata sagada da as constituency chairman nga diala nada governor friend diala nada clean sama standard newspaper to pour wol sa gamelo sa kala ko mimba kering kadingo to mondro kita nyami amon correct ita motal ya to mon animi le plan save imon kulonje min fulo to monda num before ya drop le amal ama kalamda fo ale na ali adro faka pare ale la mbo yan to summit ale na fay wala den dal ni wo fon bidada verification fo ko to nyalo mbam fo to nyen dembang bay dal ko mo le ko IC la a jolong IC ma jone IC act wala nyanda ka jolong but in normal procedure for nyanda ka da IC le IC ya reject ni ya reject ay na MPP mo le as an independent candidate ya sponsor na pare da ay na cross carpet but na dal mo wokeno wala procedure ka no nyami the remaining two people military primary albe kat nalda almanda mo kilo select la direct bo mo flor ko because min the highest vote wala nyanda kana nalmanda wakel primary do nyanda ka karong lamin bo na ko mo imedo wo fala ko karo chairman ko primary ba lamin bo ning far boy nanga hani dam bo man disqualify akono mune tama dinnim balji ita akonte mune tama dinnim balji akono dinal application o kana ni mo flor la ko be committee bul nga hani bani manda primary woto nyin ko da adjamo si ala bakel ko ngada dawda diara min diara ni anna ko man gekira foti wala tin nan ko mbori say moli sa kalande min bakkere mi kamam nof tilim balani bala firmo nin kudun kanaya nin hasidiya min biye ka anyanda ka dan bi akadan talale akada Muhammed la sama asikano dollo pour akana repeat coding ay dang isajale akoye dang wala mbula ka petition o sefe pour mobe salon mimba kere.
All right, so I'll still kabringa lenying petition or dundi sign because based on it mung ko mung explain nyeteng akamunta ko yetilimbali ko le kala but janimbo accusational make la naptas lona loko for kabringa lenying petition okay it's been a few days now Alekumo Mwele from the MPP higher ranking Fengoto hierarchy Nimbang. Alekumo Mwele from the national executive, Kala Kumol, Kala Masa Ama, Kafaleko, Yalla Kumul Kalamuta, what's going on? Or Momam Fen for that more baby dating.
Kabringa lede den nam fobi birula karola momam fen fonye je. The only promise ngamin shoto from the administrative secretary kabinda kayo sam akonya wel melamin jata kumandilale for questioning ka ninga why nyunko keta I will find and why mommy anga ya drop the initial stage then inara kana select coding why money odali usab but hani say mam fem moy itala karola fanala follow.
Okay. So still ngalo ko patimu patilati. And sometimes within the party disagreements or kakele.
That's very
so
true.
nyamu big disagreement within the NPP party. So an NPP is a young party. So this is not the only place even with the other parties from UDP and other parties, well at the constituency level, they have this kind of issues that happen. So and then after is ñing hapuntala alla candidate o samula amen bojannati so for Brikama no altol as the aspirants ngal na ñing ko ketala man diale But what are you going forward? Albe Munekela, are you guys gonna throw your weight behind Lamin Bojang and support him to become elected, or what are you guys gonna do? Because nga dojele nakeda ko ye pati ni ne londi tolman la fi wala ye katale ye loy fongwe as their own independent candidates. So I thought, which route are you guys taking? The independent route, or you throwing your weight behind the candidate?
Mr. Senghor wo kuwo falam kumo betiata bake ntilbe MPP le 100% andum buga boji mawo fenda raje ka mi sen dala bon MPP ndel nga carte fay president barole nga ka foli yele pour sa bala president baro noma nga jale aba do ko minna nyum banko kan andum like democracy bi kala jane ko freedom of expression si lolbe do ko jama be ke kan jang so fengo fen nara barole man sa kundala yuru anin ga meddi wala nafa ndele bolo noma bi andum ba no sama immediately falang after that primary mo dole bulletin dan normally parti falang arante yale pour nga lo le candidate yala on the become north ndema ko mansion akola biro bele o kalamda become north constituency ibele o kalamda mo dole fom bulletin normal pour nga lo as an independent candidate. Some of the executive members mili yala ko kabin faadu bojan tomonda italdar faadu bojan ko inaranda fon ya pour nga lo independent. The same said person atara moment fala yal pra lo independent and aba sponsor lan bari kumo kadi ya chokori fonda kono iba mo moment fala nan
Senghor abarka bake wolum ko for whether we are throwing our weight to the selected MP wolum Lamin Bojanti or not. In the interview panel we commit ourselves. The first question again in Kamina for whether needed tombong or ni me tombong, ye min tombong ibe bulala normally or ite bulala normal. You have to commit yourself first. And of course, we are with that commitment. Belamin bojang ba sembentu alam ba fasala. Bari wama min ko tilimbalia min ketante ofola. Be ofola le tilimbalia le ketaje and it need to be corrected. Anyanta correct la tilimbalia le ketaje. And chiamano nyanta sonna le fanan ko ay minke anisila manta. That doesn't necessary in any way mean control mantra NPP. Koma ya fo nyaming yalong yamira dindimbalati and they wanted to play our minds. You know, they will come to me. Somebody come to me. I don't want to mention the name because NPP there are a lot of hula balloons. You have to withdraw your candidature for one Lamin Bojang. Okay, why? Okay, you know, we have heard your name since. And if you did not withdraw, this Lamin Bojang might have problem. Because Kabi ko Welingara, one boy Welingara, ito yamir alkalo from a domalo. You know, my name have gone viral. Welingara, one boy is contesting there from Welingara. So this guy have to come up to my home, to my father, that let the boy withdraw. He spoke to my campaign manager, let the boy withdraw. I said, no, I'm not withdrawing. The youths of Welingara came together and agreed for me to represent them, and I have to do that. And Bital Alfa Dandula. But Kafoko Moena from elsewhere, you know, withdraw, for me to withdraw in any form, whether bribery or whatsoever, we are not accepting that. Abubakar Bas was my spokesperson. We are not withdrawing. Mbotaje Tata, of course, you know, different political parties, even this, different political parties will come to us for us to stand for them as member of parliament. We rejected that. So, you know, we commit ourselves to the National People's Party, and we are going to represent the National People's Party. Fortunately, Kama Afonyami, Fatu won, we threw our weight. But Nindo Minkeda, you know, it was really hurting. And we want to change the dynamics. The dynamics, in a sense, because I can remember Lamin Jata, chairman, asked me, if you are elected into office as a member of parliament, Jumalebe Kelila Bosti. The answer was the electorates. My electorates in Brikama North will Lebe Kelantela Bosti. And that doesn't go down well with him. For him, he was expecting na konye ko jumanyo lebe kele la bosti mbafula NPP.
Yeah.
Tonya NPP selected me to represent them at the National Assembly. But then I am the mouthpiece of the entire people of Brikama North. Wale karte fine. So ndeka wale represent, irrespective of your political party, whether you are NPP, UDP, DOI, or GDC. I'm representing the people of Brikama North. So those people are my boss. I am answerable to those people. Not only the NPP as a political party, but you know what? They got the fear. If we go to the National Assembly, maybe some bills will be there that will not, we will not try to support that. We got the understanding of the role of a National Assembly member. There are some bills they might not support, or they might not support the political party, but support the interests of the nation. So therefore, you as a constructive National Assembly member, you have to put aside the interest of the political party and go that of the interest of the nation.
Right.
No, this is what we feel. So people like the chairman and the core, we are not very, very, very happy with that. And let me make this thing very clear. Irrespective of its NPP or whichever political party is, we are here for the Gambia, and inshallah we are going to represent the Gambia in whichever platform. And we cannot see this country sink. We have a nation to build. We have a nation to build. And this must be a catalyst from the youths. A nation whose young men and women are in constant rate of slumber will never realize our potential. Gambia needs to be built. And anybody can build this country from different platforms, be it in UDP, be it in NPP, this is our nation. This is our nation. This is the belief that we have. But we are not submitting or subscribing to only a political party when a bill comes to the National Assembly, whether it favors the nation or not, but let it just favor the National People's Party. I am not subscribing to that.
Yeah, so I see why they would ask that, but because every party maybe candidates or not, like you want them to represent the interests of your party, but also as a candidate, you have several constituencies that you have to be there for. You have to show loyalty to your party, you have to show loyalty to the nation, and also loyalty to your own conscience. So when you vote, you look at those three areas of interest: your party, your country, and your conscience. What works best, you go with that. So, but you guys are my guest, and ngalane sambi interviewing in Banda. You guys wanted to be here for 1 hour, but we also have Ahmed Jite. He's been trying to join. He's a member of the NPP. He just wanted to throw in a few words. So if you guys don't mind, I can add him to the stream.
You
But
can.
Yes, you can.
You
But
can.
before Jida Duna, ilanying executive members will follow. Don't be a bulletin tell normal person to withdraw before primary before interview. Yanyum for a G. Yanda form promise plus or ko president la plus is caretaker government. Dologo ninja withdraw nila mo yan tambita iba val president ndeke ministry dolba ko iba president ndeke ambassador protocol giving me big positions ngayon tanda madro ko nte ala la ka place di anaka di mo le mi yalan ka diata mo de dekel no place to mi yalan ko ala man ni bo minna but ni ala kon be min shotola ambassador ni ala kon be min shotola ndo shotola so janni primary nings interview fangasi e bulata mol no mala fang jol bi je bulata no mala man ke beti pour mol ye withdraw fang mol man son anu mol yango estudiara na hana akami fo ya aya idada la mol ya ndafon ni nterima don keba ka funyo ma dol yol ko le pour ndafon se withdraw bar man son ko jamanda withdraw le ngata fo ala kiti minna inflammation no wala ne kabir ala kiti ta fadu boyana selection wala insonda bar kabirin alaman kidi mina harama dung la selection o keda ani wo de mention wo falan jide you are welcome.
Hey, Mr. Jite, even you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Amenyari.
Yes, Mbija Albenyadi.
Abijan.
Special greetings to my two junior brothers out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ibsin boy koyoning ngate jele ngamera twice mandali bake.
Okay.
Bari boy fingoning Sanneh kundanko ngawolom bakele.
Omar Sanneh, yes.
Politiko kono ndefango nyinka fanzun kodoleta aka President Barola T-shirt la ke print aende so T-shirt keme sabala na stay Gambia.
Okay.
I 300 T-shirt le din Sanneh Omar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, afama koto malemu buba ay Sanneh da afama mpa ay le dinna keba kende ba nyim politiko kono kabrin September ndeta da Gambia pa ay na program jamal lel attend. Adum nga mitino soto Birikama Jamisa nim force ledi coming yalo nyama I coordinated their activities pa ay nata je wala ala big brother Samana Buba who is currently I think deputy ambassador to South Africa for Gambia. So ngate lonne ngalla moy baake ngalla diamo la moy mbal konton na adu mol min fanal be la moy role be jibe rola Gambia nin dunia da be konton nyimboy solu ye min foteng amante tereng feo fenketa je ndenga be kalamutal nte kabiri nyin selection lata imanson West Coast boy chairman anala molu imanson kan consult na Brikama South ndebe dameng na constituency chairman anala molu imanson kan consult because ya lone mo sifanya dile mundi ni dol dunda nyola kabirin politiko be caring. Yes, it's outside. Ni dol dunda nyola because of the way umaribulo bandije close the door. Yes. Ni dol dunda nyola because na constituency nga kodi jamal dila Brikama South almost over $500,000 in all dealer na committee nying Brikama South Brikama North about 600,000 kombo isia soto Busumbala all yundum aning kombo South nga $800,000 le di wala woldoron nela politiko ke anyama mbe presidential election olat na molu ndani woldunta nyola Brikama South because yeminke makeku bari nyil coming for partiola manifesto e mi yitandi wolom nyindi ko our party anyantale na hamo mi minti I will reflect physically aduwomu kukilindi funding kewlu wollel mu partiola samati adum funding kewlu baroka fo wati o wati nyim mansa kunda mu funding kewol le tati president baro fo dula jamalto lafta funding ke wala la mini alon ko e banko kanu adi e londo soto fane 40 la min jata e manya jamal ke mini alon ko e mambeta follow ndena dunda nyola dunyo jama Ibrahima Silla aning lamin sedi wollel kante modada ngakuma kan dol moy nyin Umar Sanneh kafo wol dol batan koto ma lamin sedi lebul. He is very good at Kavoeko Baro Bekela Minister Bekela Ambassador le Purieji Amo Fatol ya Damma. Adunga longo President Baro mo foi dodoe. Kavoe kalta fo nyimoli ko ni withdraw Mbekela Minister tile Mbekela Ambassador tile Baro nene mo foye. Ye fanzun kumol leta inata ilafta mol min tala ye ta. Nde bota Brikama South le. Ye the same thing neke Brikama South. Ndolnga candidate fulale produce nan Kabonan Central 2. Mansur Somu dindingolti, aman sanji tansabasi, a public health certificate also to college, another I bachelor's degree so the public health, I postgraduate certificate fula, diploma fula I also. Nyimboyo mimbe sirim koy mamma olonde. Bar Umar Kabiru Umar kata college nga kala mutale. Teacher le mati, mathematics teacher le mati. Atada college I mathematics karang. He's a very smart young man ngalon. I maths kara pareta, he went to university. He just finished his university. He's a degree holder at a college fanasoro. And he participated very well in politics. Nkonde Ahmad Fam Kundim, Nyang Aka in Fagala Natalol Bembulujang, Nimpareta Nge Kinang, evidence, Kafeko, Aka, I tisatol print, Fon Yine, Afango Kataka, ala tisatol print, Kedi Nante Dama, I tisat Kemesabaldin, Purunge di Mol. So ni wali okay, I qualification also mol nata iko Fatu Bojang ning Birkama not Fatu Bojang aning Lamin Bojang wollen la candidature wollen la kaito follow nata. So atol nyandale boje. Lua ko mun dole ko ni de follow la kaito nata. Nyandete letal. First come first half wonene keta mun dole. Adu miente diming wala nyindi ko Lamin Bojang mi ya taten sign ala karambali ya kola because ala interview henanan kerfatu taya nyini go and find out ala interview ay mun interview sibal ke ni mol ka foko karang député ya manke karang da mati loyalty bijele wol ñom fanol te kering wol ñol lombalol te kering because National Assembly drone nem palaso di anin kiti bungol to dami alonko in fact in National Assembly there is no interpretation in local languages. You must speak, you must understand, you must write all in English language, one language.
But it Muhammed ko janko kabita through the process ko nyimmanke karankuti.
Nka wala fe nko wala ndimimbe wala faka wala nanga karango follow samana ila qualification nga samana. Wala nanko momo ko karanku ondeng ite be fani afola wala nanga o fanafo. National Assembly mandinka kaumbuka foje, suru akaumbuka foje, serer kaumbuka foje. Angale kamola ka foje. Angale kaumu karan na le tati min tada karamudo ya karang angale kaun dolla Gambia ka karanne min ya karan wollel kamoy ni isu sol sambanang ninyi manke karan kuti ite ba faham la no nyadile economics katama nyadile nite man karan ite ba faham la no nyadile security la process policy kada da nyame ite bo faham la no nyadi nite man karan ibe luwa da no la nyadi nite man karan ibe banko la budgetary allocation agriculture sula da minna mechanized agriculture food self sufficiency policy mimbe o sambala nang ite be olon na nyadi nite man karan wala ni alon fang. How will you communicate it in the assembly if you are not able to speak the language of the parliament? Abekela no nyade ikavo karana la kunde nyin bar mi yandi min nyin boy sol ye min ke nyin boy sol la wala nyin diko mo sabo mi ya lon ko wollel tutaje brikama note pourrier tombon Lamin Bojang tewol kono
Wallahi
ninga bunya soron na partiyo nga luwa horoman na partiyo ntilinta ngolafta kela tonya molleti malafi kela tilimbalolti ani mo kurungol partiyo na personal interest nga jibe Lamin Bojang mantra shortlisted mo sabol kono ni Fatu Bojang bondi the only thing that makes sense wolo nyindi ko nyim Umar Sanneh is second ni Lamin bondi
all of us together, it makes sense for the second position where elevate to the next level. Your front running eliminate, right? But Altola NPP rules or regulations, bylaws, whatever. What's there?
That is of course that is exactly what is supposed to happen. Two things. Number one, nim Fatu Bojang ya bondi je, nin time tije, the second best. Ning atumaka time obije Fatu Botaje, nan lafta, you can organize another round of selection process. Moleta carte file. But nim full dodo kilimank.
Jide, I don't cut you short. There was enough time there was more than enough time to conduct another primaries. And Brikama North constituency, the committee that were responsible for selection were 23 in number. 23. So 23 they were divided into gangs.
Yes.
One of the gang, especially more of the gang was for Fat Bojang. So the other gang seemingly somewhere with us, Lamin Bojang and the rest. So Kabring nga moy ko I see is a Fat Bojang disqualified nole. This was I think on a Friday. So they called an emergency meeting at Serekundanding on Sunday. Now it was an emergency meeting. But this emergency meeting, they choose who to go to that meeting and who should not go to that meeting. Wolonko, the people me alonko, they are 100% in for Fat Bojang. Imo will call. Good. Imo will call. Mol mi alonko niko nga thenke tombong nga Lamin Bojang tombong iba fala ha. Wol letat. So they called those guys. They went to Serekundanding. Ye tabirol beke. The funny part, don't allow meeting will be honey gio, mimuji color somebody. They did all their stuffs, and according to them, they all unanimously use this word. They all unanimously agree to select Fat Bojang. Who all? Lamin Bojang.
That is exactly the problem. Aspirants were not present.
In this Sunday, suppose they call all of us, even though they will not have select Umar Sanneh, another primaries was possible in that very Sunday. But they choose not to go on primaries.
Exactly. Why would you conduct an election without informing the aspirants?
No, there was no election. In fact, there was handpicked.
Handpicked. And this is very, very, very abnormal. It is wrong. And the worst part of it, they wanted to end our career. And this is not possible with the chairman. He cannot do that. He can never end our career because he never knew where we started from. You cannot undermine and underestimate, the
power of a common man.
I mean, this was very, very insulting. To tell us, Almudin Dimbaleti, Femfet Blaudla Diata Laleta, Karo,
yeah, I mean, and that is why Ndolnga independent candidate on the Brikama South. Mantara NPP support kan. I told you guys are at least with Lamin Bojang. But I warned you, he 95% are the winner. I can assure you. And I can assure you, wala dinan tolunga Mansur so londi because Bolon Jaban for Lamin Bojang ne fan fisiata Bolon Jabanti. Yeah, that is one problem we have. And the second problem we have too is Ibsin Senghor, Ibrahim Senghor, we are from the satellite villages. Brikama as a center, capital, a satellite village also the mini alonka ni wolle be dending kola. Kabiri 1965 Gambia ya fansodo. Deputy killing wala bota band. Brikama e banda. Wala mu Abdou Jajuti wo fana doku kendo de wo kola député APRC wo kola député be kabo Brikama le ninnim Brikama kol denta itol kadu damal le ka député ta carte fay fenko e damal le ka ta nali Brikama fula soto sign first time bebe UDP ala jes dabo be Brikama ya ta Lamin Jesana be Brikama ya ta saying new fengo nada nalbe Brikama. I mean, Brikama not manke Brikama damat. Brikama sad manke Brikama damat. We produce some of the best candidates as well.
Definitely.
Andrew Gomez Botandoli Alekiti, double master's lebabulu, bachelor's degree and in college HTG certificate. He has been lecturing at the Gambia College for almost 15 to 20 years. He's a first-class educationist. Momo tada college alone.
I know Mr. Gomez. He's a math lecturer.
Wokola Mansur Sofa na nga wala kumo falete. Ndolnga nyimo fulo le produce. Yala ne minkeda. Ndola Brikama South kabiri nyiltate la PayPal samba. Chiamano ka manyilulong. ako e gatol mu jumal nte I have never seen you adum Andrew Gomez nteni wolen hani fenke bala jabang koto ma adu ye badi al fanan fasat bala jabang koto ma wala dingo mu bolon jabanti so atata barin ni wala chikanan mi alon ka man fenkarang haketude at mi alon ka buka angale kan fona buka faham atata wala chikana yake dibitete yen ntol la parti on de Ahmad Gita at least mfanani na degree lo ntol believe tamin as young people nimbaro kaminfo partio kaminfo abe sondo mon kono funding keol ma relax funding keol mini degree so de funditanang yela hajol bula iko let us come out and help to develop our country, let us contribute, let us also compete ali olta qualification ol bebulu ak energy bebulu loyalty bebulu ali ol bali alkalmo lo wala wol mu dindi mballet ye tilimbali ya tilila i manso itala ke mol la fengodi e ka mol samba jubur langol man i kada jubur langol ta e ko mol carte ol fa ngate sindi National Assembly. That is an insult to us as young intellectuals. That is an insult to the party because a party's representatives are its reflection. So nintol kata mol lel samba parliament mini alonko nga mol soto mini katra parliament sanjilulu ibuka contribute to any debate. Adu wolundi amuta jang ibsin sengonunko parliament be kole ko annabiyo mol wala kilaria mol ni la mo kabo alaya wama ala rasuli illa al balagul mubin ala ko man kilaria mol ki fenna fo kaya maro ni na kibaro samba ka fo moli ka fo e damante ni a fo ya koy lew atolla there is no constituency problemo te dame atolla parliamentarian no alla problemo belong ayalo mimma alla problemo ayta si parliament ayede sanjilulu amam femf woka mun aytandi adon ndela mol man problem sot. But sometimes they wanted to even tell the world, well, government ko, ndefana la mole problem so bari ba fala no nyaadile. Aka foka minne mamoy. Dolu bije ngani obela le purieta ya for parliament, Birkama South, Birkama North needs this and this. Government in its budgetary allocation should consider this. But based on the mol kono, ibuka fono. Iyeke mumunel tije. Nko, alkana mumunel ki na parliament. But in tolla mo lafta wala kilaje. Umaru, ini terima, I love and I admire your courage. I'll support the nal lafta. Nde I saw it differently. I will not support this NPP candidate. Adu omanna NPP atinya. Nga felem koni lafta mbaila yembai. But I cannot settle for mediocrity. I cannot settle for disrespecting knowledge and knowledgeable people. I cannot settle for disrespecting and disregarding competence and rightful candidature for a mandikol ka me juburlang ndeta kel ngole fo ngal tentu bake Umar ngeja ini terima mingara Birkama North amam betea Fanding ke jamal lende kumandinang mi alon tele wol sambanang kabonang UDP fanke sambanang NPP bi beta da alaji esda boya ikoy be carte of failai nga group also mini alon ko they are from ndewol fola molu hani kunu group ol ben kumandi kanjang iko nyande carte of failai NPP because he be ye minki jang fo baro ya kalamuda fama kalamuda amanke silati adun tolte setulla for nonsense moten tale ko iye kuo kenna amandi ya nyeka fanye ko alafta minna lake lamin jata ay woleke lamin sedia supporta kan kata ka fo mole ko mbalkela minister leti mbalkela ambassador leti mbalkela director leti
jide nkai ko ila ke wala gambe je ila kurango banta fata je la wo I mean, they just locked up, So yeah, Gambia call and sometimes.
I mean, but yes, I mean, Ibsen is very sad, and people want to make this as a way this you are disgruntled, you are that. We have to stop that. Gambia Nimo Siva Mabula is not going to be okay.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree because I understand some of these things happen in political parties. These are internal issues. And sometimes, even if you bring it outside, it's just to raise awareness of what's happening. But I'm not going to use this opportunity to kind of berate or belittle NPP. NPP, no, I'm not going to do that, So I know it's internal wranglings
And it's always okay. I mean, there are people that are making these big issues in the Republican Party. You are in the US. I mean, Donald Trump Kabirabina. I mean, it was a tough battle. The party nearly got divided into two.
Yes.
What Donald Trump la candidate. Even Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton tema, I followed that politics very closely.
Yes.
That nearly divided the Democratic Party.
Correct.
They were the worst of rivals. Rivalry in the Democratic Party. But after Obama was elected by the convention, they all rallied behind Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's very sad, Adung. It's going to, what I see is this is going to cost us a lot.
Yes.
This behavior of some of our regional leaders will cost us a lot. And I do not think the president is paying attention to what some of these people are doing, in his name.
But I think he should be, though, or maybe opportunities like this, maybe if they have a chance on somebody, they get to see this. Because what's happening is, Natama Kalamuta, whether you know or not, when you are on top of the food chain, you should know whatever is happening beneath you. So I think whether he knows or not is his job to know. And because Nimparing start to fragment at the regional levels, these are the grassroots. Tinyar Jamaka ke, especially you guys came up with an independent candidate. Other areas, if some people do not like the candidate and they start to go vote for the next party. So what happens to Atullah Fengonying NPP in the National Assembly? If you don't have the numbers that you need, then you cannot govern the way you want to govern. Dogwala.
Yeah, and I can tell you we have at least 7 places with independent candidates. I know, of course, the principal himself is going around. He's going to add his weight to prevail on some candidates to make sure that they forgo. I don't know what agreements or what offers will be placed on the table to reach an agreement. But until we are resolved at Brikama South, we are resolved because President Faumanya la filaola. Molu kana parliament koy kana na matale discourse wol bukalo minkaf wala wol nena bukan defend no parliament I bukan na policy defend no wol dolu yes salom nim motion o sida how many of them yalon ko ya is a right motion ye bulo wulindi ye carte fire but they cannot even contribute meaningfully to convince people why it's right. And I believe that is not okay, and that should not happen. I don't believe in that. And I believe Brikama South is resolved. We are making a very strong headway. We are mobilizing. Yalonga fo nyameng ndola Brikama South is divided into two. You have Brikama proper and Central 2. Central 2 is the combination of all the villages apart from Brikama. Wolu, we are resolved. We are very, very resolved, very strong in our views and in our position that we are not going with the candidate that West Coast leaders gave us, not the party. They gave us these people, incidentally, Lamin Bojam mi yalon ka Brikama not, Lamin Jata la bulo relative lom, aya chikanane, badi yalom, I will jibe, amala qualification jibe. Bolon jabang Lamin Jata na dentale, ibemu Brikama lansar dingoleti, kabo Brikama la during kunda. They are from the indigenes of Brikama. They have no consideration for outsiders. They have no respect for us. They don't think we matter. And we say no to that. We say no to that. If they had produced the likes of Buba I Sanneh, former MP, the likes of the late Pamadi Bojang, the likes of Abdul FM Baji, these were all from Brikama. But they had at least understood minimum understanding. They were teachers. Some of them, they were teachers. They were highly qualified people.
Okay.
And they were able to represent us. Neo Kenu, yes, ni senyo. Coming, for example, near Umar Sanneh, near Umar Sanneh, ta ya choose. That will be okay. Wala nibe mo bon nanam Brikama South. Ye mo kende boni mi alonka karanda whether is a Brikamanka or not. But ye mo chikare kite ko ha nyil sandon kol wol mun to la bak chikalandet. Nin sula tela rek na mo samanko alihing. We are not going to accept that. Ndol fanala alfali en sambakara mudole Ibrahima yen karandi ye nakol doku I batata ye suta nyajalke ye kandiol sa lonchinyol dinnan tamadan tadan karanda purum fanalu nse nafano nse ndabula banku doku odo nga banko nafa.
Okay.
Bari ntolla moli okay ntol palaso na ta mi alonko ino saratol mum mintin tol ngao saratol be mafa atol mafa alko hana atol lebe kala je haniwo because atol le mujumalti atol le tamu dulalti. Well, that is unacceptable.
No, what made a jere. But
yeah.
Abdul FM Baji Tofo, okay. I am thinking, because election I remember back Kabrani was a jane lot of election what time we be UDP, but UDP you can don't kill Finland and just don't kill for agenda. But
no, in those days, no. I was not in politics. Kabiri was a beduna.
Yes.
Yeah, I was very young. I think I was in primary school. Or maybe I was in primary school at the time.
Yes, I remember that time very well, 96, because I was at Mitakum Botrop. At that time, I was in grade 8, Botrop, so election will do the back. So this guy, they're telling me that Omar and Muhammed may join us again shortly. So I don't know if you want to hang around, for that.
I'm good.
Okay, but segue, while you're here, I just want to pick your brain. Because so I wanted to ask you about his rejection by the Venkonying. So a lot of people can't go because IEC code one under was section 91 number for 90 lumber. But in guy left over full of funny and section 90 I will call I Gambia do come back. But IEC chairman also responded to Sabali yesterday and affirmed that okay, he's indeed not accepted to run. So now, based on that, because a lot of people are putting these things out there, but okay, that was just a government white paper. It's not enforceable. What happens to the likes of Mambure and Jais and Alaji Caesars, that were in the same boat. But they were not banned by the government, though, but they were retained. So, from your own analytical standpoint, what do you make of this situation?
I mean, okay, so Yarong, I was one advocate, me along ko kabirin yung kuokeda earlier at the first instance. I believe this was actually when UDP and Barrow were of course, I mean, together. Of course, Kabirin government be white paper and finally Kabiri ba bondela. I think those were almost towards the tail end of the UDP part, in government.
Yes.
Nte believe tanu minna wolom nyindiko Sabali Njoguba ke ban for life from holding office was very heavy-handed.
Yes.
You know, but whether, you know, IEC has the powers or not to reject Sabali, in that regard, I believe IEC has the right to reject Sabali. Because minkeda, ning police ol kamo mutale. Police e kamo mutale ye samba yeta ye detain. But police ol ye mo detain feo fenna. Ike detain minna wale mu luwa mi yalon ko Supreme Court ye o luwa le dada. Wala Gambia la luwa ye o luwa le dada. Ike detain wala. But in Supreme Court found buke detain, the police only can detain as per the laws of the country.
Yes.
IEC is an institution. It has that powers based on relevant sections of the Constitution to accept or reject the candidature of anybody. Dr. Ismaila Cisse ya rejectle at other court ya difference there, and many other candidates at IEC level. The laws that they have used are laws that are from the Constitution. It is the same laws that IEC used, like from the same Constitution, IEC only use Kafo Mohamed Sabali itelo nola. So Kafo ka IEC ma o power soto ndema lawala. But mimbe keri wolom yindiko. For Gambia government white paper nying is enforceable or not is a matter now for the Supreme Court to decide. Just like President Adama Barrow used his power the last time, Ayakumba by I replaced with Fengela Gasamala, but they went to the court. Whether President Barrow's action was possible or not was interpreted at the Supreme Court. And when the matter was cleared by the Supreme Court, the decisions were reversed. So if this happened, the court of law is still present. We can still test the validities. We can test the meanings of our constitution and our provisions from the Supreme Court. This is not enforceable, but as far as I understand, Supreme Court what the government did is non-enforceable. Sabali is a brother. Molmi Malo. Sabali Lumine Bakela Secretary General in 2013. Ndel nabe siran killing lameng ya jamenata countrywide tolobe caring. This was around 4 p.m. Hanibi Maninal. Yes, Sabala later diala. Anata Walto, that was the first official program Sabale Ming attend. We are friends. Our ex-wife is a very good friend of mine. Wodoma Londela best friend Brikama. So Mole Martin na nyolo nebari. I would have loved him to be accepted. We go to Fenko, we go to the people. Political for niaja diada ndeka political la diaja nyame. Kana rifrafoning mo sembema basamba. Sembema fulo nin sabali. Political dia Gambia Busumbala. Yes, sabali soto as a candidate. That I would love. And at the moment, Nintelom kan government, because there is something very serious here. Mingera sabalila, wale ketan jogubala. Jogubani momod sabali be, the same thing na hapunda. The problem I have is, sabali rejecta. Njoguba endol makoy political the NPP. Njoguba, yes, Salomon ningwo fonyi nyol jokadu nyoldo kana opa nyomi. Njoguba did fantastic in those places for us.
Yes.
Adundena alone ko politics abuka ke kensen. We would expect Njoguba will also be rewarded.
Exactly.
How do you reward Njoguba tomorrow? Near Sabali reject, you are telling Joguba all this that you, because don't let Tata Njogu Noma. Njogu does not just come and want to help us. NPP let Tata Noma Eka na ye mako dunna ngana political. Wala ke. Another I doku Kenya, we would of course expect that Mbari Wodland. How now would you reward Njogu ba? Adunima Njogu reward attend the content. Because I katanya back. Adun Gambia dingole ndenga believe ko hani ambassador ya ajareta wale nyanto dilala barni wato do ikabuso tay modo bute ala abuso nyin akane fam bute jogu bara feti be kala nyadi wende ni okuya back wala na I wish ni mata eta Supreme Court sign Supreme Court ya decide me I decide in favor of Sabali aben kontan because mimu njogu mun tere ma balti nakke ba kende bale mati ayam ma koy back so nte woye niyo kuya sign den njogu bay doku o min beke sign Honeybee is going to be banned for life. He will never have public office after he participated in politics. If you are not allowed to hold public office, why are you allowed to participate in the discourse or in the yeah, and I felt it was heavy handed. Bari kukilim bige mol buka somming for. UDP played a big role in handing down this heavy penalty against Sabali. Sabali from Olon.
How? Is it through the Franconia the Jana Commission? Because
yes,
a lot of people
Jana Commission, yes. Sabali was someone me alonko usenda ba alakoma dianu usenda boede.
Yeah, no kalamuda.
Adamunu moleti mi alonko Talib Ben Suda ba malakoma ndiaide.
Okay.
Molte o fole bare Ahmad Jide Bajamba fola. Adum Sabali Fana Fango has said that not once, not twice, because he is aware. Ko Usenu and Ami Bensouda played a key role for our downfall. So wala din na nimbe julo sidlambe kolongol sinan jawol kama nga hakiltu de ala sister ka ofole sabal le ofa ala sister Ramu Sabali la audio bije ka ko nga kalam dale ko Usain Dabo ning Ami Bensouda wolleliye Sabali ban for life. They played a role there.
Yeah, I listened to one of them yesterday. Actually, PYFC played one of them.
So wobijela barinte damma. Sabali is a talent. He is a talent. I mean, sometimes he's a bit arrogant. I mean, youthful, exuberant. Sometimes he's a bit arrogant. Sometimes he's very forceful. Sometimes he's very rude. He's my big brother. Sometimes he is. But I think he will have an addition added to Gambia's future. Ninga ala. Kabanu nyamante maota.
So do you think that there's enough time to go through the Supreme Court, and because elections is April 9th?
No matter any new election or why done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But Sabali is from Lamen. He can run for Birkama Area Council seat. He can run for a mayor of Asala election Fengo Faline Aita Jana Aita KMC I Sabatije. He can run for mayor of KMC.
Yeah.
He can do any of those. He's young.
Mayor of KMC, Talib is already there. Why would
maybe Talib is not coming back? Maybe.
What you know, maybe you have inside knowledge. What do you know?
I don't know, but maybe Talib is not coming back.
Maybe you know something that we don't know about. So
yeah, but yes, Tonya. Coming. I want my candidate to win, Sekuba Jaju. Sekuba is also very solid.
Okay.
He is one of the best. I can contribute parliamentary excellently. Adala Molu I Kujama Leke. He's not one of those he bafala minako jubur langolom. He is one star in parliament. Adafana he's a HTC holder. Ada Karandilo Kele has been a teacher for a very long time. So he's one of our best.
Okay, so we have the guys back from the studio in Gambia right now. You know, Omar and Muhammed, you know, you guys are on now. So now, okay, then we move back to them. Okay, Jite,
Yes.
I've seen this thing going around because the UDP, as it stands now, you know, they are doing a series of phone call press conferences highlighting the election inaccuracies mun happened there. Talking about maybe the phone call, how to call it, phone call coming, come more voter registration and all that happened. So ngajele, you know, they are so an empty champ status, you know, yes, today, coming UDP showed a list of voters from Jambanjeli that were registered after the prescribed registration time frame, you know, and those people should not have been registered. So they're saying that the NPP registered those people, you know, for the elections to be tilted to their favor. Ite, have you seen anything or heard about that? And if you did, you know, what is your
Yes,
take?
I did see it, but I consider it very unfortunate, and especially from UDP, a camp that has a lot of lawyers. So one problem I have with it is when you say, you know, outside of registration time frame,
Mm-hmm.
this might have two meanings. It might mean ko lungo minne mariol tata ka register.
Yes.
Registration o kumase da talan say anyanta banna tala lulu. Tala lulu anin tala yenyimol register. So the very day, but outside of the time frame or the hours that they were supposed to be registered, they were registered after the close of business day. It can also mean they were registered after registration period from May to July 12 or July 11 was closed. They were mistaken about the registration period because it only June 26 ngamere yoleta as the closure date. I'll have to verify that though.
I think it's June 12th or 13th.
June 13th. But the registration closed on July 11th. And I was in the Gambia.
Was it extended or what
I
happened?
guess yes, it was.
Okay.
People were given time. July 11th or so. So you know that is one thing. I mean, and I'm sure probably that is what they were talking about. And you know, if IEC, let's agree, these were people who were registered outside of the office hours. What evidence prescribed period? What evidence do they still have core? It was NPP that took these people to go and get registered and not UDP or GDC or APRC or Mama Esafal. What evidence do they have? And if so, what evidence do they have? These people voted for UDP, NPP. Probably some of these people are UDP members. Yeah, fam. So
Yeah.
I still believe in the court of law. These are matters that are not able to be substantiated. You cannot substantiate them. They can have registration done outside, but meaning maybe, you know, it's UDP members that try to do it, or it's GDC members that try to do it, because I don't know who those people voted for. And again, Jambanjeli people are coming out to tell them it will be cool kalam coming for are not actually realistic.
But it also okay to my fight because if variance ning warta bakel. So
And yes, and the other problem is sometimes you see, Ibsen, you are in the United States.
yes.
Elections are not 100% error free.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There are always errors. There are always imperfections. There are always things that are not okay, whether intended or unintended. But what you look at in general at the international standard is whether these errors, these, whether intended or unintended irregularities that occurred are substantial enough to affect the outcome of the results of the election. Should they not happen, that is something you determine. For what is the number? How big is this number? How much will that affect Barrow's win against UDP's lose? Is that number strong enough? Let's say if that number UDP found out, is it big enough to say Konio number correct? President Adama Barrow number will go lower than Usainu Dabo's number.
Yes.
There is a concern.
Yeah, I see exactly where you're arriving.
So and if that does not happen, Hania Samba Fenkele International Criminal Court, they might acknowledge that errors occur, but they are not substantial enough. They are not significant enough to affect the outcome of the results. So nothing is going to change.
Okay, sounds good. So let's get to these guys and we'll come back to you. Mr. Sanneh and Mr. Ba, I'll be busy ring at the telephone all the jet.
Thank you.
So Silang, sorry, Ngalong Kuramotata Nunje, so you guys, we lost you for a minute. So lafta jubela, so Silang, Jite Nata Jang Ali Kumol Mumbe for Jite Ala Kumol 17 time. So until now, going forward, what's the plan with you guys?
Well, the plan on Membulu, we want to sit with the government, wala senior rankas pro isa long member caring petition or member je pro isa member caring isa ja nyung ko asadang non so minkera and isa akana repeat in the near future. Ni be selection ogela is a siko body anung ikakarong kumayendi.
Good.
Ikakarong kumayendi bake anim falang judunna ya falang yobondi kuolo kono. Karanga judunya de nyum ko kono baba kele. One thing for sure, the regional chairman Lamin Jada is a con artist. Twawal kami for con artist. Akatere king kane abe fega. Ni na be nyola wala ena awle na be kulo kugono. Akafo Marco is independent, free and fair. Balakatra, he is the most dangerous guy ever on earth. Ale minda. But ngalonko abe wale nyama. So nyunko nyaming banko besa kalam nako tilimbali amin kata birkama north. Amanta ku anda amanta ku manum do bele nyen sonko ko tilingo nin to nyamantara akoma. Wo matina ndelenga mo MPP party yoto. Ndelbe MPP la bi mba komala mba MPP sama. Bari banko solo député mi anko e 40 ye député ya londo soto wala mli anko isati mol represent no. Kan ngajele ko mol ni ngam mol galo député ale tenga mona fama député fama do ko i malo. Amanke député do ko ka ko ndebe silo le kala moli. Industry la do le fene medjo le fene. One dance député la do ko. Député la do o kansulo do ko. Député la do ko me minti wala loi dayat. Aning ka government bilo ka accept wala ka reject ni atra bilo nin bankola sardo tata ya accept ni bilo nin bankola sardo manta ya reject député la dogo ma nyim fandi ka advice ti banko manza kela ka moro di mansala député la dogo ma nyim fandi mi yango ka bay selection job employment selection committee place do le ni bo mansa ye tombon janning be employé wo nyam inyen nakata député bungoto député lié scrutinize kele karamo fo ma vaje fo ite kayto mim bondi fede kuwale fara nyim place o kamara nyil lan député la do ko bar ka fa molé I will build roads I will bring street lights no one then député la do ko ma councilor la do ko to nya député fana dogo nyim falanti kata findings ila mol min bele tundola ila problème pour yalon ni tare député bonto isa foje yedda ko la kan ni ala sonne ni man sa falen kaji ko karika dalo nyin kanne arsenal ma ko no wo falan non traditional role of député jamal yamero wala député yaati hani traditional role of député na ada député ya karolo isitano ya fon nyini ka sembo nyini blaldo ko pour ka ile tundo ke ma koy ne ko do soto yebe trigo bonjo won den député fana do ko fay nin kansulo fay lesi min mado tundo la ka fay ngani nit na soto min la fa ka nit ñi nek wala yen sola street leado soto de la fa ka sate molu ma koy wo fala you will less with the council because wo ma wala domaine net wo ko député ko ken wala ga marché to muno musul la problème wolti ya long like ni ñamul la ko fay daldo te ngeta area council especially député fulol min betala council min bela man ma fa wala ya ko mo foli wala ni sate du ko kedin ye sembo boy e kana jo konta dama pra kan place ni molle sije wala député la do ko so bara ma ko député ka ko ndala ndaba silolo do ko lembe jame wala lembe bunyo wala lo sateli won tan député la do ko so en tulata député karanala député karte fo manke ko ikata pajole represent ikata molle represent molmi ye karte fay kada modo e karte fay na man dara parti killing because a jela ko nyinna moti min sang mbondi so ko be wala nyama bari mobe sakale ko dalbe MPP le 100% aninta bolje ndafon kunno 2500 t-shirt wala print MPP pajoy from my own pocket money manda wo falana borole ñin programme min be kada before during election tonya biro ga moto dinnal dama ma sinya fule moto fule dinna bari kam moto kilna dinna bari ndebe sabatri birkama nofre kaba fida tundol bari birkama sa falan ka fo be mbuli jele MPP ka fo be mbuli jele because place ul siata mbulle harama do ngati place be maral no yang wol fo ngi chamade no ngoye no ndebe gala la mobilisation da miles wala advisor wol fo wala man role di bar birkama south north kaba fida layout ndale le MPP chairman oti ila kaba fida central ndale la vice chairman 2 ndale fa mo MPP fonna mun kam function ko do ni ni le mo do de na man si ndekan no ko do tale kam mo rent pro moli sitano barole benole naye because once crowd finita mol finita mol ni mol nyaay crowd jare e kabula man sando ko wala nyam fengo fe niara yim banko nyaata talam ndemba ko mal ba fengo fe niara banko nyaata town ten hana wala president wala karola nde Omar Fanding manda wotal wala barka ba.
So it's important coming in deputy requirements to pre current because until for the longest period of time Gambia ikajele coming deputy bills all bakeable from the government, from the Ministry of Justice, or other ministries, a bill or not, then parliamentarians will deliberate on it. Either you are passed or you are reject, or maybe you are sent back to a select committee for modification or whatnot. But the Mbuka Munje, Wolong coming, Ndola deputy, see, it will form they write a bill, let's go and write a bill and try to find a sponsor for the bill so that, let's deliberate on it. And then, for example, Barroso Lono Mitindula left changes carry Bankoro. Then the National Assembly members take that upon themselves to go and write a bill about it to make sure that happens. So in you guys' minds, why do you think we don't have that kind of leadership, from the National Assembly? So we can have GT and
yes, this private member bill that you are talking about.
Yes.
Because you have different type of bills that goes to different types of bills that go to Parliament for debate. You remember in the Constitution, one of the reasons why Ahmad Jite refused to accept the 2020 new constitution to be adopted by the Gambia is the injustice that was in that constitution against the people of diaspora. In the constitution, you are not, in the 1997 constitution, you are not qualified to run for president in the Gambia. if you have citizenship of another country, you are not qualified to run for National Assembly seat if you are a citizen of another country. You cannot be a cabinet minister if you have citizenship of another country. So these are all things that the Yahya Jammeh put in the 1997 Constitution.
Now, Ahmad Janeke minister. Dr. Janeke minister.
Yeah, he does say, oh, of course, now after, you know, if he wants to do something, he plot his own rule. That's Jammeh. So, Ntolu Kabirin Constitution Kudo Nata, there is a provision, presidency, dual citizenship, aya tuje, National Assembly, aya tuje, minister lu, kije yo bondi. Nde, amanke ko kaiti be mbulu jang, wala kaiti be modo bulu. Nga mimfoye nkwe ko. Alinyantale aliye Gambia dingolu. We all love the Gambia. Gambian will come in sort of outsider soul bulu is a lot. Ite ipsinie opportunity means sort of jang, America jang. Iko ite lafta kela parliamentarian world. Ifangole nata ye fang educate jang. Ye kodo sort of jang. Ye expose sort of jang. Ye experience sort of jang. World class of all of this, especially in finances. Ite lafta tala puruka Birkama constituency represent National Assembly. You'll be a great addition. But it je ko janni kao atem fang ila American citizenship a renounce. Ya renounce ye foila fengol bela mi alon ko be soro America. Yet I run for the National Assembly post. You lose elections. For Gambia Mamfo.
Yeah, that's true.
Gambia has lost a lot because neither photo opportunity la neither by America Gambia Gambian kole. Gambia has lost all of that. Ndela argument has always been change that section of the constitution. Alia for Moleko, you are allowed to run for office. Nal winter, the moment you are declared a winner, then we want you to be loyal to only Gambia. Work on the renunciation of your other citizenship. Nigga president the declared wrong. Renounce your Canadian, American, Australian citizenship as a Gambian. If you do not win the elections, go back and continue getting your citizenship. Ibalantala. Wala nante balanta constitution. I believe we have smart National Assembly members. Many alonko they recognize the role that diaspora plays in Gambia. Nima new young ones, brilliant ones near to the parliament. I am one of those that is willing through na private member bill sponsor to amend that section of the constitution to recognize Gambians outside, most of them in fact, came out not because they do not love Gambia. They are outside as economic immigrants. In other Fenyinola, ya Samba Su. In other Nafurinola, ya Samba Su. In other Londinola, ye Nafasu. Only 0.5% of Gambians, Minubota Gambia, Walel Kanyina Gambia la 100%. 99.995% of them will beka Gambia la bungol bije ike la badingol makoy ika kuolke ika fengol beke nte ngawle believe so niye National Assembly kendo soto Birkama South ndenga amenanteni wose doku kenole nga bilo safe nga sponsor nyinala nga samba parliament ate fawelo aya explain mole wo muneti bari jita ta explain non ni e bolon jaban samba ndol nga bilo safe nga di wala ba explain no nya da defend no I'm serious. Yes, I will bolon jaban be able to explain that and defend it. How will he defend it? About the amula nyade because de taraje ye bilo fa ni asafero ke pareta ya samba ikako what do you mean by this clause this statement what do you mean by that abe munefa because he cannot speak the language, he cannot communicate in the language fluently, he cannot write it, he cannot express himself. How would you sponsor prominent and effective bills to parliament pour banko e move where the president puts them there, because sometimes Mansakunda Adamadimu Damalti. Mansaketa Nyaunya, I personal interest as a leader. As a bankola interest or a personal interest. Sometimes he has so many interests that Puruitala interest Janayo Mira Oka Koleane. You can also send a private member bill. Eco diaspora must vote. And let's work on modalities. We can do all of this, but only through smart people, only through those that are able and capable of understanding the facts, at least minimum requirement. Barindela birkama South Deputy Yemil Londi. Not ninga okata sab ninga mbemfalo bana mbesavero kala suto tili. Nga sabenga parenga diala tafono. Birkama not la Deputy katamin sambaje. Mba savela nga parenga explain ay tili talul ni lulu. Ni asamba parliament ata explain no la ni English la. North from all Yamani. That is it. So Nindon now sort of say, Ndon lafta minna. Ika ngo ala koleko. Wama ala rasuli illa al-balagul mubin. Ala ko mankila alki fenna fokata ka yamaro futandi ya ko indi fer nabita e kadiyamule mimbu kadiyamuno ye kanna sorla diala annabula Musa ne mam beteya alayhi salatu wassalam ala lafta kila alon ko mo kendolo ma kila kenole aka ambe ni koto mala kila ay beke annabiyo moti ay beke kila riya moti Musa la diyam baliya adama ne wala koy baliya aka diyamu barane man koy ala ya koto ma bakilin fakilin aya promote diyamola kuma ya nkol foyten aya koto ma promote aya ke annabiyo moti aya ke kila riya moti ay darajo diala santo ka o title be diala aka ay ni do mayta ala diyamo na diyamu ta mol buka moy barita min na wulude ka mole ya kanna sor mole ya fahama kamim National Assembly bola nyam ni ma mo sodo do min ka diyama ka femfo mol min ka nim president alla president buka diyamu kunu nga fo janne kunu nga fo na diyamo hey president hana man diyamu sanjilul no problem mol se complain bar no problem because ni security problem onata I minister sodo le minu marta security they can be experts. You have defense minister, you have interior minister. Ni economic problem onata, he can assign Mamburenjai as finance minister, Ayanyakas. Ni commodity trade problem onata, as a trade minister commandi, ateta asiala office, wait agimenokai. Ni law problem, legal issue nada, he can assign the justice minister, ateta asi. But there is no appointed officials that are supposed to be guiding National Assembly members in the parliament. They are supposed to be our mouthpiece. They must speak. They are supposed to be our writers. They must write. They are supposed to be our listeners. They must listen. Yeta yela moy mo la minka for National Assembly ya la moy ni wonin tolta amanta ya fay ko ntela molu alkamin foteng ntela mol malla fiwol ndela mol laftanyina bari ni ya moy fay buka fono ba ibe keno la nyadi wala nan dol ko mbang birkama not birkama south alla parliamentarian ol mi NPP dialla itenyin do ko keno ibsin problem kilimbi jembe fole
okay
National Assembly kanela salary la fale lamin jata nyoli yollong yalon ko signed National Assembly members ikawolle jo minister diolon
no.
Yes, they are paid more than cabinet ministers. Aduila salary kanala file mimbe kaito de kanami ratify. They will go home with almost $70,000
a month.
Yes. Aduila COC ngoya no ko la extraordinary session or session ni data je ngamereka 20,000 or 10,000 na jo. Ila city was sitting ni sit $10,000 city or 20,000 among ko mabake. You can verify that.
So National
Assembly members are getting paid better than ministers. Adi buka doku. Ngoye dol bije wol sanji lulu. Imandi amu parliament. Nima la na teta session ol jibe.
No, I know, most definitely, yes.
Yeta yede tuk. Ninkarte fasi de elo kaito chika. Ya ulindi yes sa no sa. Ye findi eta. Motol bebulu. Ya enjoy your salary jo adunia je sita sometimes you can see every 3 months. How many times do they even go to work?
Jida mela kumo kundida nyum kumo tunal wala tin isa mon min pickpocket no ikombari ngoli tombong so barin karan nali jol pik poget la no wane ko nyim manke karan koti ila ko mo sahayade de
But if Muhammed, imagine part I want Muhammad to speak up. He's been quiet for a minute.
Yeah, thank you. Abaraka Bake Sengor, come in Karo Kenyam, the way forward. Ndo lafta min bondila, walam ko, the preconceived mind, ko mole miro min soto kata karangoto. Omar ya bambandi, ngaje UDP, they've been writing, NPP, Almam Fenje follow, you guys did not see nothing. We just want to reiterate to them. We members of the...
Can you speak up a little bit? No, Ahmed, you are muted too, so I don't know why.
Am I audible?
Maybe me fundi langa dunang ko dek.
Okay, fundi na dunang ko dek.
Yes, let me leave and come back again.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Ba.
Okay, good. Lafta min bondila, walam ko, the belief and the concept mole means soto to downplay education. Nkana o miro soto ka foko karaw man kumaya, especially in our national politics. Lafta wo tuole fala. Nkana foko karaw man kumaya in our national politics. Nali alon ko karaw man kumaya. Mbanyol nanyol dukaran kalan samba ku karandulat. If you believe that education is important, at least allow us to represent with our degrees, with our theses and whatnot. This is the trend that we want to bring out. A lot of youths at the University of the Gambia and other colleges who want to come to the national politics to sell their agendas, but they fear. You know, these are the issues, that are retarding them back. Isilan talent. The traditional way of politicking within this country, nyanto minimize that. Ngakarang kumayandi. All developed countries around the globe, karangole kumayandi. Karangole developing. Away from that, you've been talking about the constitution. Of course, National Assembly members, their major work, ila doko forming, they are lawmakers. Government work in 3 different parastatals: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. Here comes the National Assembly. They make laws, of course, provide, policies that... Hello?
No, go ahead. I'm just adding GT in, but go ahead. GT, can you hear us now?
Yes, you are good.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Ba.
Thank you. I have some differences here with Gita. Let me respond to him before he will come. He will go off there. Okay, good. People like us, we supported the constitution that was, trash, because for me, economically, there was huge amount of money that was spent in the constitution. 1, 2, people like us, we've been very young when we've been hearing constitution and whatnot. For me, democracy, genuine democracy be balula. 1, we must have what we call, term limits. And that constitution, the constitution that was trust, it have term limit. Term limit is very, very eminent in democracy. Again, the constitution have what we call, absolute majority. Gambia since 1965, nkabalu minna wala simple majority. One ku win reg, even though it's one vote different, that's not proper representation. More than half of the population of this country should agree ko X, Y, and Z should be our representative. Otherwise, you are representing, the vast denials of the people. The trust constitution got that, and that was very, very eminent. The second thing was the scrutiny of ministers. That was very, very eminent. Of course, Jide will not agree with me because I've been watching all of these posts talking about the presidency, yala symbol tala, especially the retroactive part of the constitution. That is, the past term was part of or is counted of in his term. So Baro Fanang, that doesn't go down well with him. This is politics. But the most important thing is, let us have a constitution, of course, a democratic constitution whereby, we'll have absolute majority and a term limit. This is very, very eminent in terms of, nation building and a good governance and stuff like that. Lafamintan la jamamul ko, especially the people of Brikama. Ntol mu MPP dingolati and mu MPP dingolati B and mu MPP dingolati Sama. But then charities begin at home. When there is something wrong within the family, we cannot make change. We cannot be changed against for the entire nation. Of course, the globe at large. You know, it is wrong. And for them, it is a normal thing. It is a traditional norm. Kafoko na karinyol tombong yekenna deputy. Already, they have their choice already. And they will be disturbing the youth and other people to follow formalities. Nafate wala, ngawabula. You know, let us set criteria. These are our criteria. You know, if you meet these criteria, you know, you will be our representative for Brikamanot. Fulanyango minti, nkana karango doyandi. Nkana karango doyandi. Ninga karango doyandi, we will not have a proper representation. Jite said, you know, there are some National Assembly members for the entire term, they were unable to speak. Of course, they will not speak. Even because they don't got this stuff to speak out. They don't understand what is going on in that house. So it's like the same trend is continuing. The same trend is continuing. So, and this thing starts from grassroots. If a political party presented somebody, like grade 12 certificate, most average electorate will not understand that, because in this country, most of the people are married to political parties. UDP they will vote for the individual. NPP they will vote for the individual. Therefore, within the committee of executive of the NPP or the UDP, will have a proper representation of the entire constituency in that assembly. This is our crime. You know, I've been seeing that Alman Fenje follow. This is not only within NPP, it's everywhere. Maybe in Tolangafo, but we believe it is everywhere. So Ntolta laktale ayedang. Selective justice, minkatamaje, lamin jada, and kairaba jede ayedang. The tribal sentiment, albemin tamandiga within Brikamanot constituency, ayedang. We are in the 21st century. You know, there are a lot of countries that we will emulate. It was shame. When I traveled to Dakar or to different countries within Africa, it was like Gambia is 150 years back. And these are all sister countries. We have a nation to build. We seriously have a nation to build. And these things start from the grassroots. People are, Molia miracle political is personal interest by the fair family. No. Politics is shaping the life and the livelihoods of the citizens of every country. Inyanta kurami jola. The food that you will eat, the bills that you will pay is dictated by a politician. So therefore, we should have a proper representation. They are rational enough, reasonable enough. They can go internationally, lobby, have conference with international people, bring issues that are very eminent to this country. You know, it starts from this place. It starts from the grassroots. So we are pointing on Kairaba Jede, Lamin Jata, that we're not your enemies. Don't see us as enemies. I know you guys, we've been saying a lot of words, youth soldom, fine. This country will have more than 60% of the country as youths. You need to give the youths a proper representation. Thank you.
Wow, that's deep. You know, Gita,
Yes.
I know you've been eager to follow up. So
Yes. I mean, I'm actually not going to, dwell much on what he says regarding the constitution that was thrown out. That's going to open a very, very fresh topic for debate. But yeah, I mean, there were a lot of stuff, in the rejected constitution that were not okay. Of course, a lot of them were okay. A lot. That constitution was fantastic. But there were few things that were not okay. And these things were very, very significant. They are fundamentally important inside that constitution. And I just mentioned one of them. People try to peg our purpose or reasons of rejection to, retroactivity, the laws should not include barrows. No, that wasn't. There were a lot of problems. And I made a lot of those things, clear. And the constitution is going to give us, it was going to give us a problem in the long run. But that is for another day. I kuma killing for me alonko is it's very, very important. And I applaud him for that once again. Near National Assembly GB right now, you look at the composition. And these are things that people need to know. You see, sometimes in Kafoko, our ministers are corrupt. We say our ministers are corrupt, our justice minister, our institutions are corrupt. And National Assembly, as an oversight institution, has committees for every single ministry. There is a committee, select committee on defense, select committee on agriculture, select committee on education, select committee on foreign policy, select committee on everything, on health, on everything. And these are committees that are directly assigned by the National Assembly to work with each ministry. You have a minister and a permanent secretary that are experts, let's say, in health. But you have National Assembly members in the health committee that do not even understand a human cell, let's say biology, a unicellular organism like cell, like a unicellular cell. They don't even know what that means. And they have no understanding as to what does it mean when they say, pregnancy induced, is it high blood or hypertension? If they don't know that, they have no understanding about how finances is done. How will they be able to understand whether those people, the documents they are presenting, the bills they are presenting, the invoices they are presenting are fake or not fake? How will they be able to know that the drugs that Indians are bringing and they are working with our health experts? For example, let's say Amadou Samade is corrupt. I'm not saying he's corrupt. But let's say Amadou Samade and his permanent secretaries are a bunch of corrupt people. I am not saying Samade is corrupt. He's an upright man. Yes. Where is a health expert in our parliament today who has minimum understanding of how health works, to be able to challenge Amadou Sanneh on what type of drugs is fit for Gambian community, or what types of materials, healthcare materials, are fit for Gambian population? When we get into education, of course, there are a lot of people with master's degree, teachers, in the parliament. But how many experts are we sending in the parliament? Those that when they are in agriculture committee will be able to dictate or to force the government through the minister. Oh, hey, agri-mechanization, we believe these policies that you are bringing are not the right policies to improve on our agriculture, to get us to where we want, and that is food self-sufficiency. We must have people that are experts in agriculture. Ngeki parliament. Puri salon ko, dunia bi, senola bunda betenne. Not only in Gambia. America enyineke ye fan balundino. Singapore enyineke agricultural kalo. China enyineke. What do we need to do to be able to get Gambia to that level with a fertile land? 95% of our land is cultivable. You need those kinds of people to understand go nyim fertilizer carry in agriculture. This particular fertilizer is very bad for the environment. This particular fertilizer is very bad for the soil in the long run. But this other fertilizer, the compound, the magnesium, potassium, and phosphate nonsense chloride, that the composition in this fertilizer, we believe is not okay. So, Mr. Minister or Madam Minister, we don't believe this is the type of fertilizer we need in the country. You need experts on environment. You need experts on mining. You need experts on education to be able to tell us what policies the minister brought and how good they think those policies are for us to have the best of education. Mathematics has been a problem in the Gambia.
Beautiful.
People are failing every year. You have more people that fail grade 12 exams than those that are passing exams. Since era, 60% of Gambians mini grade 12 city baker fail. All of them fail. 60%. We need to have and education has been taking policies to National Assembly from 1994. They go and discuss with parliamentarians and they adopt those policies and they give funding. Education is still going down. We need experts in policy making in the parliament to be able to tell Minister of Education, both higher and lower and basic education, hey, all policies are not working. I'm an expert in education. The trajectory of our education in terms of quality is not okay. It's not good. And come up with an alternative suggestion to the ministry. Go back and do this, or let's sit down together and do this. Members of Education Select Committee in the Parliament should be able to do that. But if they have no idea what happens, how would they be able to talk to the ministers or the ministry? How would they be able to serve the oversight function for ministry maminke kuya correct? Ita la talibo nite jahili atawti. Ita bo karandinola. Ah? Ita la almamo mimkete salindi. Almama mingere salindi ni te jahili adon ni oko bismillah rahman rahim aboto da ko maliki yawmi din wala dalil ibe fennelo naj Allah salo man da nyamo ko. That is what is happening, and we have to put an end to that. We are not blaming those in the past, but we have that opportunity and we have the responsibility to correct the future. That is our responsibility. But India mutola karambalol ka fo e ba fola moleko ate kela janyi manke karankut ndol karanal fanal ka sowola nga fo haye wala fal nga muda nga ke parti ko iben na banko murun la kom iben tula lodi ndula kilik na kolade ko abel kolat na kolade ko karanal le banko tinya karanal be deri be siri al nga bule ndol kon dakela ni man song. We are on record ka fo e ko we have spoken, and history will vindicate us.
All right, thank you. So, Muhammad and Omar. So,
Yes.
Lafta Kalunda, Alto at this point in time, because you guys are using different media outlets, to spread your message. But Manlafi coming Moli Sirek, Nalakumo Lamoya, Nafuko, Nyumboy Sol Tonya, Lefo, Gan Gamin Loko, Yunkumo Tonya, a bay danger. So what I'm saying is, Jite, with your connections within your party, how can you help, to make sure that, these guys' concerns are well echoed?
Well, I mean, I have my own concern, and it was not even cared for. What they are complaining is the same thing I complained. The first thing they did was they made sure that I was not informed about whatever was happening. Momo be Gambia yalone, the role I played in the West Coast region, the role I played in my constituency to get Barrow to power. And everybody knows ko. If there is anybody near Mosaba for West Coast, minimum prominent NPP politician or the Bemfalajet, even at national level, Barola party okono, ni mo kendodi, ye mo lulu foje, mam foje, you are not fair.
That's true.
But Sakonna region odo, Sakonna constituency, Birkama South, that small constituency. Jumala beote ba fala mina nyine fisiata jitet in terms of Barola court. Ima fonye. But if what ye mol tombong, ima fonye. They don't even care about me. Because it's the same thing. They know I will never accept it.
Okay, maybe at the constituency level, maybe that leverage is not there. But maybe at the national level, you guys know people that know people that know people.
So
maybe
this was what happened. You know, a document was designed. Criteria for selecting candidates was designed. Qualification was there. We need to encourage educated people. We need to encourage young people. We need to encourage loyal people to the party. We need to encourage active people. These are the things mini alonga foda. Mitino bekela lung mimbije. I am not an executive member of NPP. But barobe nyimfala lung minna. Executive mitino. Wolumbe siridne. Nimbaro vice president. Ani NPP la alpha al bay. Kabo Gambia karobela. Ibebe siri. Kabirim base. Fo Banjul. Abebe siring mbe president la fengoro cabinet room kachabe kere ya famle so ni okeda at party level min fota ani min keda on the ground imankling so bar ni complainda iya moyle president baro tata basse ate fanko ni parti e mol min tombo alim be nga bulawol noma ndenga amira ko he made a mistake in making that statement. Kafoko independent candidate holder, nibe independent. Momorondimbe independent. What they are not in NPP. He made this statement in Basse. But not every individual yemin tombong atombondani silor. So President Adam Barrow should also make sure ko ayela moy mo la mini alon ko grievances soto awalaya fomole ko problem ol keda dawda bring them to my table the aggrieved parties because ngalon ne ko sometimes at low level ni famo mambulaje Gambia political bedabe ni famo me da bulaje ko batla mol bu democratically ita keku le buka keku ye avenue create molie na ye mit ye la problème fo na man keku iko ka man keku ala fali na man keku. You have that final obligation and authority ko silo nyanta etam as the party leader. Nyimmin keta da mambete almanya okela. Ala stop. Bari President Barrow maka konga bula konin selection on be minu select NPP rally no. Nde Ahmad, I do not agree with that. And I said as they are saying, nde hani Barrow mang NPP kanundati. Nde komunga fo mole nyame. Barrow fought very hard. Pour ala do ko mi abala tuje NPP abole nyaton kal bara president ya wala ala do ko he fought very hard pour do ko akana foal nde Ahmad Dita I left my job nde I resigned happily from my job pour kata ka do ko ke NPP so baroma NPP kanunde nga believe ko ala o move was not the right move adu nga believe ko nto labir kama south manta sonna wo kuola nta kela because nga min bili follow nyindi ko ninga baro e min fo ninga ota mbe min sambala parliament nate kuka chano la nta kinola mbe kala jibela because ninga kumo fa hani nadi amuta manni kakawol nga silo ten dolla jam loptano ten na jam musu kono mali ka fa silo kan na ko don sulo ta jambandol ninga foya ata sabe no la fanka sabe kayto bala ninga sape ay kayto bala ninga samba ninga na moto mala ata parliament din doltije ata fono laje bada ata karano laje so ni dol ngo samba parliament mbe munekel ndolle mu fanjele land mol ko birikama south adun this is shameful birikama be nyamen a warata woyele lonna ba jamale bota birikama la tundolom powerhouse ti Gambia. Brikama is a very prominent place. Nim partiol mimbeka succeed Gambia. UDP loda Brikama le. PPP loda Brikama le. NPP fana sumo soro Brikama. Ning Alpha kallankewlu. Brikama musate baleti sate kallanke balom. Ala tundo kumadal. Nkaka li sonka tula kela jele fengolti. Adi laftan kela wolti. Kela wolti ndol ko wala nan dol ko ntakela adunga foyele ko hani president na to ko ala tu jemba fala president hani de ñim problème o kedal de nga fole mamoy adu wallahi na yem bay party oto we will leave the party happily because ngalon ko our conscience are clear adu mansata la lumbina abem vindicate la adu ndolde sonna wala de natala mansayamu ngata kijel wi dunia be ojele nga do ko minge kate ke mansat barni o botaje ntol ngamira mir writer ntol ngawrek he should not side with a part that is wrong.
You should not side with mediocrity at all, you know, so that's fine. So it sounds like Mr. Ba had wanted to say something before you started.
Oh, yeah, so.
Yeah, it's like for us, our issues should be hard. Inyantamuela, nyadonko nyantamuela, minate nyantamuela, dol nasafero like formally. Hanini watara ibe dorla kanne, but tol nyantaminkela ngawokela already. That is to write formally to the head of our party, of course, to inform him katandala ko our dissatisfaction minketa brikama not and insilamanta. So as genuine, of course, and educated, which they undermine as educated people, don't lateleko ni watara moye kuge mi yalonga amanyang kalata isaferoke follow due processes, you know, to inform everybody. We informed the governor, we informed they themselves, which they did not even acknowledge. You know, we informed the president. I don't know whether the president is informed or is aware or not, but then later on in Futata Budung asekeno national bureau asekeno later on yadorakan asekeno president yaje bari ngamin tandi je wolam ko yemin tombong ya tombon nyami aninsila monta aninsila monta andung the criteria of selection imam bula wonoma again the third thing is ye karang undermine bakele. You know, as a nation, that like a karang undermine from this stage. We people like us, we are not seeing any future. You know, mbanyol or nanyol ten sambala karanro, alsa muleko albe minto amam betea. So I told Kairaba, if you are saying education is not important, all your sons or your daughters should not go to school. And please tell Adam Barrow or His Excellency the President, the primary schools should be closed. Upper basic schools should be closed, colleges should be closed, and University of the Gambia should be closed because you are telling us education is not important. If education is important, why are we operating schools? So we want to do away with that, you know, norm or traditional belief. Education is not important when it comes to issues or national politics. It's very eminent. In my view, education should be the number one criteria when we are selecting National Assembly members. No loi de dalal manke o manyane kela mo chahanti, you know, inyantaka karane. Senghor, they dropped somebody or somebody was dropped who is a double master's degree holders from London. You go to South Africa, most of their parliamentarians are PhD. Jang niti ni PhD nara jaisabu because ilafta kala deputy bungalti. I mean, they won't accept that because what happened? They will believe ko ne bilol don natije. That did not in line or tally with the party's interest or whatsoever interest, but tallied with the national interest. Your consent and with your education will not, you know, will not warrant you to support the political party's interest or the interest that they believe or they want you to support. For example, ne bilo nati mi yalonko maybe is entirely in the interest of my political party. But then the bill support more of the nation, and I choose to support the bill that support the nation and leaving the bill that support my political party. They will see that as something that is very, very wrong. So therefore, they choose to select robust MPs than MPs that will scrutinize, of course, and reason bills that will be passed at the law or that will be passed at the National Assembly. So we will repeat it. Brikama North constituency, ila criteria ila selection nya amanta anyama. Brikama North constituency, ila selection nya amanta anyama. And if we lost that seat, President Barrow should know because the committee that is there is responsible. UDP is a stronghold of Brikama North constituency. Of course, they even won presidential elections. UDP won presidential elections. We have almost 1,000 different or 1,000 plus different between the UDP and the NPP presidential election that we are talking about. And UDP have a sitting MP who is not, a novice in terms of politics. Bamba Tulumbale, Alaji S. Dabo. So you need somebody who is at least a level-headed or when it comes to education, can match Alaji S. Dabo. When it comes to competence, can match Alaji S. Dabo to uproot that man there. But then they were not interested. This will make us to believe allegation or milkata because na moiko ha ye kordal le di ye nisol le di ye kodo le di chiamanola. This is an allegation. Thank you. We are not confirming that allegation, but then ning quality at a time. Wa allegation on kamimoy tumando bat melalala. We are not in any way confirming those allegations. But if chairman and his crew went to handpick Lamin Bojang, of course, the allegation that we will be hearing all along, and we work very, very hard to round the entire, the Brikama constituency. Fat Bojang is hearing me.
Okay.
Let him learn, please. Let him learn.
Fat Bojang be they mean Fat Bojang's selection or confirmed. Because Nikata Dipita, that's a big challenge. There I have my people. They open different WhatsApp platforms. And I have my people in the diaspora. Moro Camaranyol, these people were funding my campaign. And a lot of women kafos, Baro sisters were behind me. Kongata, and they believe we will win because Ngadogo will start becoming not as their global youth parliamentarian. Ngadogo will they believe we will continue that. We went selection oketa, we were unfortunate. We accept the will and the verdict of the majority. Then we were committed to the process. My father, of course, congratulate the MP. And Fat Bojang promised to come and visit my dad, who is an imam. But unfortunately, before that era, Fat Bojang na drop okeda. Coming Fat Bojang na drop okeda, the dad told me, now you guys can go and see what is possible. They never inform us. On the whole, these guys, they have a hidden agenda to select somebody who was their choice, initially. That is Lamin Bojang, because Kairaba Jade in your Tombong.
And he did not participate in Father's.
And who did not even participate in Fat Bojang's issue. So, to sum it up, Minketa, to sum everything up, Amanda Anyama, Amanda Silakang, and we malan the Hanipenkang. And I believe, if the top bra, when I say the top bra is Ahmed Jide and the crew there, the national executive and the president, they will not be happy about it. They will never be happy about it. Because we believe it was supposed to be a democratic process and competency counts here. At the student wing, I am a member of the student wing. When I submit my interest to vie, but this entire student wing of NPP, they are not happy. They are not happy at all. They are not happy.
The same to me.
The same to him. He is a member of the NPP student wing.
I know. that student wing actually, the responsibility was given to me to be coordinating. I remembered having lunch with you guys in Brikama. No, Welingara. We had in May. We had a big meeting. Maybe you two were not there. Almost 300 students came from the University of the Gambia, Gambia College, GTTI, and it was fantastic. And I'm on the group, of course. I followed the complaints and all of that from the student wing. I don't think, but that's one thing that worries me a lot. You have vibrant young minds coming up, very energetic. I don't know funding. They were very, very instrumental. These guys, Ibuka relent. They don't care. Ye fendile man fendila, ye resources dilema dila, they are on track. Ila WhatsApp pages solu, ila text messages, they send audios and they're very fast on Twitter, everything. So I mean, if this is the kind of thing you want to do, it's not fair. But the good thing though, boys, I need to tell you, National Congress is coming. NPP is going to Congress. And it is everybody's responsibility to make sure at regional, constituency, village, ward, at every level, they will be able to represent us without fear or favor. So it's done because and maybe President Adama Barrow will hear this and Nanata because he is going to be part of the campaign too. I don't know whether it's tomorrow or so. He's going on a countrywide tour. And of course he's going to campaign for our MPs. And I'm sure a lot of independent candidates will be neutralized. Maybe Nina Benda, I'm sure they will be neutralized. We have a lot of independent candidates from Nyomi all the way to down to Combo. Too many independent candidates. And, most of these are going to be reducing the chances of NPP from winning. And this is very important for President Adama Barrow. I mean, the selection committee, Ipsin, generally that is what I have. Ndolu, from Brikama South. We have an independent candidate, and we are not going down. We are not. We are going with that guy to the last level, even if we do not win. And I know we are going to win. And if we do not win, NPP is not going to win. It's a candidate or one day. And so, I mean, we are sending a message that you cannot put us in pockets. Let's respect what is in our books. Adama dingol ni aje banko ka tamano, ni aje sate ka tamano, ni aje Adama dingol fang ka tamano. Aliye, lay down principle le landi. Furu mo base tamola, because our needs, our wants, our choices are always different. That is humanity. Wala na luwa alkalo constitution o kasoro kwenye luwa mo bebe tala wona. Abukadi ya mo be bari, itala domondi albe sowol wala ya tinna partio fana luwal sodo nyanda tamala minna bari ni te ko itani molden da fengola ite mindi ate ite yoke modoli e nyane won adiate akuyate bulete tanoma woka partio tinyal aka partio tinyal adu momo e molta yenta ikoebe on the mind na wala yamena ko sembetenna. Do not underrate young ones, because londo bembulle adu mol kela moyle Gambia nolu mol sondo mol itadi amla de bari kela moyle. It's not good. Kafu itata je ala funding ke oli si akilo tu ni kontanita ni happita silo nying abe jam falal barni one thing problem be sorolalde adum West Coast is very important for any political party. Birikama, the two Birikamas are very important for any political party. So nim pendu sorora mi alon ko iketa adinin partio la lua manta inin partio la principlo manta partio nyanda tamala nyamen tonya ka anin tilunga manta molu kede buka sonke address, or they fail to address them and on time, because kuodo bije isa address no but time sensitivity fana bije ye badu fo ko dunyoto abe tinya be nyang dunyoto yena e koy bada dala aka tinyarol ke aka sobindirol ke biko min keda fang nin ayatuma ko diamo keda nyim boy solu be telel min doje kaminu foje tafon nim parti wala mol wulta on time ini diam de koy yal tonye minna mambetea baralna adi ya moyle alfali ya moyle. But in here also, some of them don't care. In fact, they see the educated and young ones as threats. nit ñi boy solu janni kana e kata ay Africa janni ka petition o sape nin telom parti o mol fawti Ibrahima Silla, Minister of Information, Atele in charge of West Coast la, he's the desk officer politically for West Coast. So kuwa kukeda dula o dula. Ibrahima Silla is supposed to know that. And he is supposed to know it to the last bit. Not a tije no, anyanta amol sambaje. Hanna tumako nyilko, everything is okay. He should find out whether there are aggrieved parties, those that are not comfortable. Atefango invite because I tell a party over Sikang at cabinet level in West Coast region. I invite not a man no, akwe alkana findide. Not the other fang. I need more better West Coast, momo balantebe NPP le independent. Ani momo be koma yalongo they are prominent. Ibrahima Sille be chika ko yalanga da presidenia. Jani nyinkuo ka findi. Ntenga amira wala nyanda kelanu. Niye okay, nyilte diamula. Niye okay, birkama saute fengel. Bara ketala kabira banta bukumo wala botanna alfal bul West Coast region. Na minu be nyato ye bukumo lefo ima ke ku inade kumol famini alongo tinimbalia. Ani yandani fawara kumol yolof wole mol kampandi iya minke molte kuno laje bar mol fanal be minkela ifanade kuno laje. So I blame the top echelons as well because imam fenge sa fela later sa hani president nada wala silla nada kabe dia wala nyinkola outside people are aware already. The damage is done. But he told Kaminu Jawalam, Ibafala Nindinimalu, Atol Lekadade, Nimkuel Kadaleta, social media, Alekadeng. But Imalonko, they have responsibility. Puria make sure problems need occur because problems will always occur. But it is also the responsibility of leaders to be mindful, to be vigilant, to be on standby, to have their ears on the ground and their eyes and their representatives on the ground, even if you want secret agents. Ikidula bet. Near Fingol Jaminum Bete Ayenai report here. Yeah, make sure you fix those problems, those differences, those grievances at the right time. But NPP mantra keka. Imoked and April 2nd, April 9, April 10, April 11. Nime akilo to disappointment ol besorolalde. Ndanga wala soro ipsin inimbara.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. GT. I appreciate you coming, talking about this
Thank you.
issue. You always come whenever we need you, and thank you so much.
Allah baraka, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Jide and Ibsen. Allah baraka bag.
Okay, so Mr. Sanneh and Mr. Bao, what are the last words? Allah
You can go ahead. All right, Abaraka Bage, thank you so very much, all the staff of LSTV and the members of LSTV, those watching, Allah Baraka Bage, we appreciate everything. And those commenting too, we appreciate all. We want to say thank you so very much to the people of Brikamanot constituency, Molmi Yalongo Ilot and Fe. Since day one, we really appreciate you. And of course, Bafola Jama Molieko, or especially the youths of this country, it's high time you involved in national politics. If we are to say the 60% of this country is youth, therefore alfonganyantas representation of Fongasot Lajele. Kafoko ha ninta raje even yinekela even dokula even moriala. If everybody have that concept, then we can never have a good representation. We will say thank you so very much. Haza assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. Mr. Sanneh?
Yeah, Muhammed mo betiata. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Mija sangor be kondona aning LSTV mol mume dokal mume be viewers mbal falang kondona aning mo me angoy several ka to comment. Gambia me foningel yamara pro mo be se don politiko to banko te buka tawano karnal komano karnal sa banko bondino bi nimbe ba kan ko liabe keding fon ntambulo dal mi kan fon sa wuli nga fere ke banko be tala nyam pralo amo flashing wala pour insa dunga kono fonin kelo dawda mo nyanda fonin gem rangi fasa mi sementu ya anu nga sim fatam fanso bondi kuwol falang kono nga niola nga karnal ke plaso bo mol fala yamaro ko nimbe carte fele insa kesse mom yanga akaranta andung asay mul represent no asolo no député bon ala ko fono bari kana mul ta mi yalan ko fonga lan ko ni da député bon do nanga tuwa wol kam fa yes o no na boto ko tel defem folo no kana carte fa wo mo sifali bari sa kan da jama mo le ko no matter what ndel MPP le fengo fen ni adamu yim bankol development ko lo ndabi dele but now the retardation for the development of this country we are not part of it. So me mobi kontona alsa baraka baka. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, baraka baka Muhammed and then Omar Allah nato jang kontanta ko la baka ng conversation muso do ngakata muso do kata kumada baka. I hope the right authorities yalla kumo moy yalla consensus ya moy for but not just ya moy but to act on it address isaje in the future ana man capital ti dol mun binal control koma ale consensus muso do and it fanan kana through those because National Assembly mu plus holding and government of Muyalko is very important and is always important that the right and competent people somebody Muyalko is in the cool fasa because it got jubilee, it's a constituency. The entire people of Brikama North, one person nebita, at the National Assembly to speak on their behalf, in the national discourse. So it's important that you moment somebody Amari Kumata, Amari Keta Londo Theatre, Amari Keta Mira Lati, Amari Keta Motumian Koma Fanan Jube, Isaji Nyata Sekeno. But in content Nato almost 3 hours exactly, I'm spending show to Allah Baraka Bage and hope Alta Famala LSTV one Alkalakana, every now and then Alina, Mulma Kajasu, Allah Baraka Baki. Thank you so much.
We'll have tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be at iAfrica. So
okay.
Ask your viewers to follow us there. Tomorrow,
okay.
We have one-on-one with iAfrica TV.
What time?
4 o'clock.
4 p.m. Okay, so they will be on iAfrica at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Monday. Check them out on there on one-on-one show. So I hope you guys spread your message further. All the media outlets for now. Yal invited in Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day and have a good week.